Dollar blazing. Do you guys have audio from me now? Disaster. We're just sitting here chatting the breeze for an hour, and then as soon as we go live, you break off your microphone. La la la. There. All right, they got me. They got me back. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh yeah, JJ is. Oh, you guys guess you missed it because you couldn't hear me. We went live on Discord for a half hour and everything's great, and then as soon as we press live, JJ's microphone broke. He snapped the cord off the back. So we were like, should we be late, or should we just let everybody watch this debacle? And here we are. I just opened my beers. Now I realize all the things I said you guys couldn't hear. So happy Yom Kippur to all my Jewish brethren out there. Oh, well, I'm not Jewish, but all the Jewish listeners. I'm not really into the religion part, but oh, he's so mad. I don't think he can hear me. Can you hear me, Jay? No, he's so mad. He's just been on a never-ending run of yikes. While we're doing that, guys, I'll just take a minute to plug myself. Head over to Brad Finn and check out my newest video that just came out. Or if you want to be a cooler friend, click on the 3 dots next to Brad Finn Live. The lives I've been doing have been great. Yeah, you're not gonna. We're waiting on JJ. Bud Lights tonight. Yeah, Dade. We're gonna have a bunch of Bud Lights and a bunch of Jameson because I'm off tomorrow. Preston, thank you, man. To be honest, we look forward to it all day too. Yeah, the new channel name here. That's the new channel name. Dade buying in on a brewery soon? I think so. We'll find out next week, literally 1 week from today. Pardon? Yeah, don't do that. Well, I mean, we do have 6 weeks of content coming up. I had to start a live stream channel because they won't let you do it on your.
Okay, they should be able to hear me. It's just it's fine on my end. It's right in between yellow. And then, jeez. Can you guys, they should be able to hear me. All right, hang on. I got to figure out you. Hang on. It's the audio output capture that I can't get to work.
Stream.
Oh, here we go. Got it. Say something.
Anything. Just say anything.
Yep. You should be good. All right. They should be able to hear us now. Jeez almighty, dude. Like Like
You drink?
I should be getting struck by lightning right now, and of course I can't hear myself at all. I'm gonna have to take these off. Well, no, then I have to hear you. This will work. I'll have to do this. Gosh dang it.
You drinking?
Yes.
JJ needs a beer.
Well, not only that, guys, but I literally just found out today. Can you hear me all right, by the way?
I don't want to hear it. I can't hear it again.
Oh, I got a bid back to replace my sewer line. Now, I'm not using this bid, but it's the first one I got. $26,000.
Jay, at what point do you sell the house?
Well, if I sell it, I'm going to take a loss because of that.
You said it appreciated 50,000.
It did. But I'd still... I mean, why I wouldn't want to sell it.
Sell it and put 25 grand in your pocket and move on.
No, because I'd rather fix it and just hold the property. Because that property's going to...
There's got to be, that's a big nut, man. There's got to be something where you're like, that's too much.
Well, no, I'm not paying $26,000. That was just what the first bid came in at. So once I get my second rental property rented out, which this is a video coming out on my channel, by the way, and then I raise my rents in March in my first property, I'll be cash flowing around $1,000 a month. So that's, if I paid the 26, that would be 26 months, or 26 months. So a little over 2 years for me to break even on that sewer line. So,
damn.
Yeah, sucks.
I mean, your last week, what did I say to you on the phone? I was like, yeah, so about that real estate property I want to get with you, I'm out.
Dude, it's...
The crazy thing is, like, you talk about, and this happened with another one of your houses, too, that you were looking at. Like, I've never heard of somebody having a sewer issue.
Oh, it happens all the time. It's just mine happens to be in a bad spot that's underneath my house, so they have to jackhammer through the foundation.
Brett makes a good point. You'd lose on realtor fees selling it as well.
Yeah, that's true. It's another expense.
I got to turn you down. You're so loud. Oh, man. I can't turn you down.
Yeah, I'm looking at me on OBS, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So
ask them. Like, does it sound loud to them? That's
yeah. Does my audio sound loud, or does Brad's?
Because I can just, I don't know. I can't figure it out. Whatever. I'll figure it out. It just doesn't have that, like, crisp, clean JJ Buckner smooth voice that you usually have.
It's because my mic broke. Gosh, dang it, dude. That sucks.
Yeah, but you used that one for a long time.
Oh, Brad, hang on, dude.
Yeah?
You're hearing me through Zoom.
And
Oh, yeah, it is updated. Yeah, you are hearing me through my mic.
Really?
Yeah.
They said mine's a little loud. Yours is good.
Okay, I'll turn you down.
Brad is a bit bassy.
I'll turn you down.
I can turn myself down too.
So that's what I'm dealing with. And then also my AC on my personal home's going out. What else is going to happen?
They said the perfect audio.
Okay, good.
Yeah, man, you're in a financial hole.
Big time.
Good thing we got a money podcast and we could talk about it.
Yep, even though that's not what we're talking about tonight.
But I have a feeling we're going to be talking about some things that...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure something like that will get brought up.
JJ audio sounds like...
He needs another beer. Yeah, I need about 6 of them after the week I've had.
Oh, they're saying that I'm a little hot. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm back. I just backed mine out a little bit. I just backed mine out a little bit.
So, yeah. So we got a good one today, guys. I may repeat myself from now and when we record, but I'm excited to talk about tonight's because entrepreneurship is one of those things I think is like a hot topic right now.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but until you actually do it, you don't realize.
Speaking of entrepreneurs, Not Water Barbecue Company in the house.
Not water. Let's go. Says JJ, you need some brewery and barbecue. That's right. Maybe I just need to go chug some Not Water Barbecue. I just got some new sweet hot and original. Family loves it. It's the best barbecue sauce I've ever had.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what's up with?
Not sponsored either. Not Water. You want to sponsor the Average Money
I know.
podcast? Hook us up with some some barbecue sauce.
I'll bring that. I'll bring it up every single episode.
Brian Hun. Thank you so much, man. I need it because it freaking sucks.
Somebody asked if there's tornadoes in the forecast for you.
For me?
Yeah, Missouri.
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't checked the weather in a while.
Do you guys have storms coming in or what?
We had some storm clouds yesterday, and we had a storm last night. But no, I don't see anything on the weather.
The surf was. See, the thing when you get storms, it like sucks. When I get storms, like the surf was so good last week.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I hear storms and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And then of course Avery's like, can you take me out? Can you take me out to the water? I'm like, no, it's 50 degrees out here, baby.
Yeah, it was cold when we were out there. Not Water said, let's talk. I'm serious, man. Let's do it. He's got good stuff.
I am a fantastic barbecuer.
I still got to buy me a Traeger.
I don't, man. I'm just that small guy.
You cut out there.
I said I'm just an offset smoker kind of guy. I don't need one of those stay up all night kind of guys.
I don't even have a smoker. I got $100 grill I bought 7 years ago, where like the cages are like built, like bent it in from the heat, just heating it over for 7 years of heat and it's a horrible grill. It doesn't cook right. Doesn't keep in heat. It sucks.
Brian wants to know, you put a limit in on AMC and it jumped, right? We didn't get it.
Brian, and it's still on there. We still have a limit order on AMC for $42 like you told us to. And it's going back down. So it's in the limit order I opened until good till canceled. So when it hits 42, we will be buyers of AMC.
Okay. What was it? I didn't look today.
Bloody. Brett said tornado was a joke to add to JJ's luck. That literally would be what would happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, throw a tornado in there while we're at it.
Yikes. What the heck was I going to say? Oh, was it bloody today in the markets? I know yesterday was awful.
Didn't even look today, bud. I did make one trade. I did a covered call on my Wish in the average money portfolio. Other than that, I didn't do anything. I haven't made any moves in the market for like weeks because of the closing on the rental property. I've been cash poor.
Yeah, pretty much all my plays inside the average money portfolio have been good or going really, really well. Pretty good. And now that Tattoo Chef sells weeklies now, let's go.
Oh, I know.
Let's go. The only thing that I'm just going to be bag holding for looking like a pretty long time is Voozy. But
I know, me and Baba.
Oh, God. Every time I look at that, I'm like...
Just keeps going down, dude.
Yeah, and then you sold like out of the money calls on it.
No, I bought out of the money calls.
Oh, you bought out of the money calls on it.
Well, they're like, it's like a year out.
Yo, Dave makes a good point. This is the anniversary podcast.
We started on the 15th?
Our first episode launched on the 10th.
Oh, wow.
So this is and we didn't go live last week because you were going for it. Celebration, bitches. That's great news.
That is good news. And we got a good episode coming out on Monday.
And little fun fact, guys, we reached enough downloads where we started making money. Sorry for the ads.
Yeah, Podbean's putting them in there, and we need the income.
Sorry for the ads.
Skip them. Just do the 30-second skip.
Hit the 15-second. They're going to be in there from now on, we think. So what we did do, because JJ made like a little ad for the Patreon. First off, thank you so much to all of our Patreons out there.
Yes, thank you guys.
And then like all of a sudden JJ calls me. He's like, Brad, I was listening to the podcast. I'm like, that's sweet. He goes, there was an ad. I was like, we're making money.
Yep.
And then he's like, sounds kind of weird though that we did an ad and then my ad back to back. So we're like, oh, let's take that out.
Yeah, it was
The
too much.
next one.
Too much. Brett says look at RecTech. Or RecTech. I'll have to look at that. Because
Yeah, mine's just a homemade. Used to be a drum, and we just made a barbecue out of it. The firebox is a old propane tank.
Mm-hmm. You want to record this thing, and then we can hang out after? I don't know how long we'll go, and we can chat while we're doing this.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to do the intro tonight? You came up with the title.
Okay.
Let me press record.
Yeah, I'm recording too. Let me make sure I got my.
Tell me, when did you press record?
Hang on, I gotta change my.
Josh said, I listened to the whole ad.
There we go, baby.
Yo, Lindsey Buckner in the house. Lindsey Buckner.
See, I told you.
Lindsey Buckner.
I said she can't wait to hear it. It's gonna be good.
Not word of thanks a lot, bud. I appreciate that. I definitely will reach out and would love to help promote the product because I'm still. I forget which one barbecue sauce I'm using, but I definitely got it like out of Stop and Shop.
I'm telling you, man. Well, you haven't had it. You haven't had it.
I'm
it's
not
good.
really. I wet rub like I'm more of a dry rub guy.
I'm recording, by the way.
All right, let me press record.
Just pressed it.
I'm more of more of a dry rub kind of guy. I do wet rub my ribs a little bit, especially when I'm smoking them to keep them from drying out. But I tend to be like a brisket, half chicken, that kind of smoke. And also I smoke a lot of fish. So we're going into the fall run, bluefish and bass. I smoke a lot of fish. So like faint, like lemongrass type. If you have any of those are. But I'm a huge fan of dry rubs.
So Alexander says, "Yo, cheers! While on the road, what's the topic tonight? You're about to hear in about 30 seconds. I'm gonna do the intro for tonight, and then Jeremy says, Bud Light and Bush, damn good choices, gentlemen. I'll cheers to that.
Lindsay, text my wife. You guys can all get in on the. We'll get the get the wives into the chat and do a little preamble.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Ready to do this thing, dude?
Yeah. Let me just record the
Zoom call.
The Zoom call. Just
recording in progress.
Recording in progress.
Thank you so much. Yes, dry rubs. Let's go.
Yeah, his dry rubs are good too.
I'm all over that.
The sweet heat's my favorite.
Sweet heat. What do you put that on?
Right now, all I've been really cooking is pork steaks and chicken.
Yeah, because we're getting into like pulled pork season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the fall.
Have you ever had pork steaks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, is that like
That's
the same
like
like pork chops?
No, it's not. It's like a St. John thing, or at least it's like a local thing here. Everywhere
It's
I go,
probably one of those things I've had. It's probably just had a different name.
Probably.
I have to go back to being plant-based in 3 months.
Jeremy, I have a video coming out on my channel about LLC and rentals.
Oh, you are talking about how you're an LLC?
Yep.
Well, that probably will come up in this episode too. We could talk about it a little bit about corporate structure. I know enough about it.
Yeah, you
where I
probably
could
know
talk
more
about it a
than I
little
do. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good for people to understand
The whole
the
whole S corp thing would be a good thing to touch on too. That is good.
Yeah, and I think even just the fact that people think if you want to make side hustle income that you need to become an LLC or something, and not many people realize you could just become a sole prop.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that. You're gonna do the intro.
Yep. You ready?
And guys, please, if you have businesses and stuff, and definitely, show Not Water some love there, guys, on Instagram. And if you have a Etsy shop or something, please, that's what we do in the Discord. So, get over there and, yeah, definitely going to quote Kevin O'Leary tonight, I think, a couple times because he hates W-2 jobs.
You ready?
All right, man. Do the guys, everybody, JJ Buckner.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Average Money Podcast. Today, Brad and I are talking about entrepreneurship versus the 9-to-5. Brad and I have experience in both aspects. Brad has started multiple businesses. He's also currently working a W-2 9-to-5 job as a physics teacher. I have started my career as a W-2, 9 to 5 employee, and just recently made the leap into entrepreneurship a little over a year ago. So we're going to talk a little bit about the pros, the cons, our experiences, little things that you can kind of add to and look out for if you're thinking about making the jump into entrepreneurship, what it may look like, and kind of what's our thought process and what our experiences have been going through. Guys, if you are new to the podcast, we are actually doing a recording tonight that is a couple days after our year anniversary. I'm not sure when this episode is going to come out, but we're currently live on the YouTube channel. But if you are new to the podcast, my name's JJ, and I am joined, as always, with my good friend Brad. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm amazing balls.
All right, I like it.
I am good, and we got a lot of good friends in the house tonight and in the chat, and we're probably talking mid-October for this one coming out, but
we are ahead.
Yeah, we've been good little boys. Staying ahead of our jobs, and you coming to visit me was good, and we are definitely ahead. So this is our first podcast episode launched on September 10th, and all I can remember is asking JJ if I should get the server for a year because you got a discount, and like let's just do month to month and see what happens here. And
now look at
here
us.
we are. Here we are a year later.
Going strong too, man. Podcast is starting to take off. I will say this real quick before we jump into the podcast, because we don't mention this too often, but it really does help us out, guys. If you could just leave us a quick review on Apple Podcasts, that helps us get noticed. That's what kind of pushes the podcast out. Right now, we're still a pretty relatively new podcast, I would say, especially with a lot of new financial podcasts that have been popping up. But if you just go leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, that really does help us out.
Quick reminder from Dade, turn that AC off.
Yikes.
Dade's overview. I'm telling you, I'm glad they think you sound good. This little side note, your audio has never sounded worse on my end. So I hope it sounds good, or we're going to have to trash this.
No, we ain't trashing it. They'll just have to deal with it.
It sounds like we're on a Zoom call, like your audio's that bad. It sounds like you're using your computer audio.
Oh, no.
Like your computer microphone. Maybe it's just me. Maybe what they're getting and what you're recording is dope. But you sound like you're like over here in an echoed room.
Well, what I'm looking at on my end looks decent. So I'm crossing my fingers.
Even on Audacity?
Audacity, I'm sitting between 12 and 18, a little over 12 sometimes. So I'm crossing my fingers we're okay. But for the listeners out there that are listening to the podcast recording right now, so we do a live stream with the Discord members. Shout out to the Patreon Discord members that are listening right now. $1 a month to sign up if you guys want to do that. Join in on the community. But right after we went off of the Discord live stream and I went to hop on to press live for the main podcast recording, my mic on my main microphone breaks. And that's not to add, I'm literally have had one hell of a week, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had some bad news about the rental properties. I've had my ACs going out in my personal home. I'm like, what else is going to happen here? And then boom, my mic breaks right before we go live on the podcast. It's just been one of those days. So Brad, I'm drinking one of my favorites, a good old Busch Light. You're drinking a Bud Light. And we got a great episode. Like I said, We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship versus the 9 to 5. Brad, I don't know about you, man, but I feel like right now within the past 3 to 4 years, entrepreneurship's been the hot craze. It's the new popular thing to do. If you're not an entrepreneur, you're a loser. That's what I feel like that's what people are trying to make it out to be. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why entrepreneurship is being put on a pedestal. Do you have an idea of why this I don't know. I think honestly who I think started it is the whole Gary V glow up.
I was gonna say Gary V too.
Yeah. I think he was the one who really put it on that pedestal to say entrepreneurship is the greatest thing out there. And what are your thoughts on that? Do you, because you come from the 9 to 5 background, but you have a different scenario though, or a different experience with that, man. You've created a multi-million-dollar business.
2 of them.
2 of them. And then you also, during that whole time, you're still working the 9 to 5. So you have an
Yes,
idea of both.
I do. And I'll tell you this from somebody that's in the high school classroom every single day. The college route, W-2 is still primary focus for most kids, I think. I'm not sure if it's just because we're in the space of entrepreneurs and we're surrounded by them that it's so common. I don't think it's as common as we think it is. Just like I said, just seeing the 18-year-olds. Now, granted, I also have many 18-year-olds that are looking to go into their own businesses and stuff. But every single time I bring up getting out of college and going into a trade or starting a business, kids are always look at me like I have 8 heads. Or even when I talk to them about the YouTube channel, they still don't get that we make money on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like they know like people make money, but like if you're not Logan Paul, they don't think you make money. Like I have to, and then they also don't understand the different facets of a YouTube business, you know, from sponsorships to AdSense to affiliate marketing to selling your own products. They don't understand all the umbrellas that play into it. And I'm not sure if I like it or not. And I mean, it's funny to say that because you did mention. So I opened a CrossFit gym. I opened a brewery. I started a YouTube channel. We have the podcast. I have a W-2. I have a full-scale tutoring business with a tutoring YouTube channel and then the teaching job as well. And not all at once, obviously, because that would be a lot. And I still have like, you know, a pretty busy schedule and pretty hectic. But it's so funny that even after all of that, I still don't know if being an entrepreneur is for me. Like I don't know if I start my businesses, and I don't know if I've done these things and pursued these things because I love business. I love the challenge of it. I don't know what it is. Because I will say this, and this is something that Tara said, besides the YouTube channel, I've never started a business by myself. Like I always needed a partner to like push me over the edge. And I don't know if it's because I like support systems and I like relationships. And I also I'm the type of person, I hate the phrase where it's like work on weaknesses. I'm a big fan of like F your weaknesses, pay somebody to fill in your gaps and excel at the things you're good at. You know, like
there. You're really choppy in and out. Like you're like lagging. It's like your Wi-Fi's slow or something.
I'm 5G, man. 5G.
Okay.
Am I choppy to them?
Yeah, probably. It's through Zoom, so your recording should be good, but it's just like blah, 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 like you'll like cut out for a whole word and then you come back.
Oh, okay.
Like you just did it.
That might be yours. I'm on 5G.
I'm hardwired in on 5G as well.
Shit. Nothing's going right tonight.
No, it's not. But so I mean, we can keep going and see what happens. I mean, you got your backup, you got your full recording going, not going through the computer, right?
Yeah, everything's good on my end.
Okay, then we're probably good because I have mine too. So
okay. So I like to focus on the things that I'm good at and not really worry about my weaknesses. And I think that's really why I've had partners. But at the end of the day, I'm like, they're not partners because I hate being an entrepreneur and I always want to like push that onto somebody else. I don't know. It's
well,
I just don't know.
I want to dive into then like what are some pros and cons of entrepreneurship versus working a 9 to 5, because I feel like I've experienced these firsthand on both sides. I've gone 7 years of working a 9 to 5. Those last final 2 years is where I kind of started a little side hustle that luckily turned into a full-time gig that I, a little over a year ago, decided to jump in full-time with, you know, a family of 2 kids, a wife, and that was going to be our sole income, was my businesses that I started, my little side hustles. And I will definitely say that there are pros to both entrepreneurship and working a 9 to 5. And there are also cons of being an entrepreneur and working a 9 to 5. Now, would I say I weigh or sway one way more towards the other? I'll let you know once I get through these pros and cons. But I feel like having a full year or a little over a year of experience as just working for myself, I'll be honest with you, it was a little more of a bumpy ride than I would have expected, I think. But there were some things that I did to kind of soften those bumps a little bit. Some things I did to kind of set myself up financially to withstand those bumpy roads whenever it got tight. When that, standard paycheck coming in every 2 weeks or every week wasn't coming in, because I guess that's a first pro right there for a 9 to 5 job is, when you're getting paid, what you're getting paid, how much you're getting paid. When you and I talk on the phone, you're like, I know I'm getting my standard, whatever it is that you're getting on your paycheck every single week, and I know I get to use whatever I'm going to use for that. And that helps for planning, that helps for budgeting, that helps for buying items. Every single month what you're making.
Yeah.
To where for me right now, I could have an extraordinary month that make the most money in 30 days I've ever made in my life. Or I could have a month that is completely back to dirt poor JJ making almost nothing, for that month. I also think that's the line of work I'm in.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, what you're doing is very, very fickle.
Yeah, it is. Which is another reason why I'm trying to add on other businesses and side hustles on top of this main entrepreneurship or this main business that I'm doing. But so I definitely think the terms of how you get paid is a pro for the 9 to 5. Now, when it comes to the amount of getting paid, when you work a 9 to 5, Brad, you have what do they call it, a glass ceiling? Is that what that's called? Where you can only see how far you're going to go and then you get stuck?
I know exactly what my max pay is.
Yeah. And then as a physics teacher, you're never going to make $500,000 a year.
Correct.
To where me as an entrepreneur, that's not out of the question at all. Out of all the businesses that I've started over the past year, $500,000 isn't out of the question. Now, am I making that this year? No, I'm not. But the fact that the opportunity is out there for me to do that, that's a big pro when it comes to entrepreneurship. You are in charge of how much money you make. You can work as hard and as long as you want to. But here's another pro with entrepreneurship. You can also choose how hard you want to work.
Right.
If you make $30,000 in the month of January and you want to live off $30,000 for that year, you don't have to work another minute for the entire year. You got 11 months off. That's a big pro.
And I mean, although the W-2 job has a glass ceiling, it also funds your side hustles. So many people think that it's all about quitting W-2. It's all about like, I want to start this side hustle and I want to get the side hustle on so I can quit my W-2. You have to keep doing your W-2 until your side hustle. People ask me all the time, like, why I haven't quit my job to do YouTube yet. Right now, it's funding. What's up?
It's worse. Just switch it back to what you had. Right now, it's funding is where you left off. I would just leave it alone, and like you got your recording, I have mine, and we'll be good.
I feel bad for them though, like trying to listen to me, and I'm fucking sounding like an asshole.
Well, that's all the time.
What was I saying?
It's funding the side hustles right now.
Yeah, so I need to try. God, I'm so frustrated.
This is the stuff you guys get to see that you guys won't hear on the podcast. This stuff happens a lot more often than you think.
I'm just need that too. So it's like,
You're saying that
all
it's
right,
funding the 9 to 5 funds the like those
right,
side hustles and
yeah. So that's something that like you have to definitely keep in mind when you are trying to get this thing going or trying to get a side hustle going is embrace that W-2. Embrace what's going on with the W-2 and embrace that steady, consistent income, right? Because you had a W-2, would you have been able to? I mean, would you have been? You wouldn't have been able to live off of YouTube when you first started. Like, how long did that take to get it going?
like it took about 2 years until I was starting to make enough money to be like, oh wow, I think I could actually do something here with this.
Right.
And I could actually potentially take the leap and try and do this full time. Now, this goes back to the pro of W-2s is if you're wanting to start some sort of side hustle while having a W-2, that's like kind of your safety zone. That's your comfort. And it gives you those
Right.
possibilities to start that side hustle that you may want to try out and work your ass off on the weekends or, work late night at weeknights once you put the kids to bed or whatever it may be. It's just the fact that W-2 is there to pay your bills and to live your lifestyle. The side hustle is kind of like a what if, or maybe it's just an extra income and you're not looking to make your side hustle your full-time gig. It's just extra income coming in. But I think this is the thing though, man. Like,
But it also poisons you, and it gives you a safety blanket.
so hang on. That's what I was just getting at is we keep going back to your 9 to 5 as your safe zone. But as someone who was let go from a company, what I thought was going to be a very safe job that I worked at, a very safe company, a very large company, they went through some tough financial times and I was low on the totem pole and I was let go because they couldn't afford me anymore. So I don't want to, I would feel horrible to preach.
Recording stopped.
I would feel horrible to preach that the 9 to 5 is like the safe thing and the entrepreneurship is so risky because you could lose your 9 to 5 any second. And today, I feel like there's no loyalty on either side. I feel like a company could fire you in a heartbeat because they need to, or they could replace you in a heartbeat because they need to where with owning your own business, you're in charge of creating that paycheck. You're in charge of managing those finances.
But some jobs have more protection than others. Like if you work a union job, you got a pretty good job.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I was more saying like, how many times have I mentioned to you, man, I wish I taught in a crappy school or I lived in a state where they didn't really pay their teachers, so I could just step away. It gives me like we think of Kevin O'Leary, right? He's what Mr. Wonderful, and he says like the salary is the drug they give you so that you forget your dreams. And it's really true. Like I could live off of YouTube even with a pretty big cut. Like my bills are so low and things like that. And I feel like I'd just be the biggest donkey in the world, even though like I know the math and I know I could stop. And it wouldn't, it would change things, but it would really only change how much I was saving. And you could always save more, but I'm like, good. Then I think about like, can I give up $120,000 a year as a teacher? Like, I feel like I'd be the biggest idiot in the world. And that's what I hate about my W-2 job. I feel how free I can feel with my businesses. Like when I used to get out of work and go to the brewery and just cut loose and have a couple beers and put on whatever music I wanted, and hung up the decorations I wanted and wore the clothes I wanted to wear and hired the bands I wanted to listen to. It was amazing. That was incredible. But then it's so hard to go from being your own boss and then having a boss. And when you're a teacher, you have 6 bosses and you have to answer. Actually, I have about 75 bosses because every one of my parents has some sort of hold on me. My department chair, my APs, my principals, my superintendent, the board. Like, I have to tiptoe around school so much. But when I get back to like the money side, I'm like, I can't give that money up. And I don't even use the benefits. My wife does my family benefits. I just, this is something that I struggle with. I talk about like quitting my W job so much, but the biggest con of my W-2 job is how trapped I feel by its security. I'm so conservative and I'm so non-risk averse that I've taken leaps of faith with all these other businesses and I've always been able to make money. With this, it's like the only thing that I'm not self-confident in. I'm not self-confident enough. And that's why I don't think that I'm built out to be an entrepreneur, because I don't have the self-confidence to walk away. And the crazy thing is,
why do you think that is though?
Well, because I'm slightly insecure. I mean, if I could be a little vulnerable, I'm a little bit insecure. And, you know, I don't know. Because what I was just about to mention is with my credentials, I get a teaching job anywhere.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Even if I quit for a year, I could go back and I could get a job next year. I could take a gap year. I could. But like, you know, when you make these really rash decisions, or at least decisions that other people think are rash, and you just know the backlash that's going to come. Like, I think if I quit teaching, I would have to like continue to tell my friends and family that I was still a teacher. So I'd have to listen to them like tell me the reasons why I'm a donkey.
But see, like
did
that,
you have that?
No, because I don't care about what other people think to justify what I need to do in my life.
Yeah, but you didn't have friends like be like, wait, you quit your job to be a YouTuber? You didn't get any of that?
Yeah, I don't care. Let me
see. But you have self-confidence. Like I said, like I'm a little bit more insecure in that, where you can tell friends to piss off.
Yeah.
I feel the need to like be a people pleaser and like.
Do you think you could get over that?
I don't know, because a lot of it's like deep. Like a lot of the decisions that I make, like I feel like I represent the family with both my parents being gone. So like, where I used to be able to be like, Dad, what do you like? My brother Gerard, he's the king of this. Every time like I go back and forth about stupid stuff like this, and he's like, well, you know what Dad would have said to do? And I'm like, son of a bitch, I do know. Like, my dad wouldn't let me work right now. If I was having these conversations with him, he'd be like, Dad, quit. Try it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But no, I'm like, people look at me as like the oldest brother and now the father. If I quit teaching to even not even to be a YouTuber, like I'm financially independent, like just quit to do whatever I wanted, the amount of shit that I would get from my family, and maybe that's not, and not like bad, like they're not a bad family. They would do it out of concern. They wouldn't do it out of like thinking I was reckless or a deadbeat. They would do it out of genuine concern. They would genuinely be like, Brad, you have kids. Was that a good idea?
But they also don't know they also don't handle money like you do.
Correct. And
because
that's something you have to think of. I mean, because granted, I'm not immune to this. When I told people I was going to open a brewery, I got laughed at. You know, like only because when you think of brewery, you see these huge grandioso breweries and like people are like, wait, you're going to open a brewery? Like, okay, guy, good for you. You know, and I shut them up. And we had this talk because I have a couple of my family members that don't support me and they really are rude to me. And my wife was like, yeah, sometimes I have to be like, how many multi-million-dollar businesses does this guy need to start before we start taking him seriously? Because they always just like, they always just, Kelly in the chat said it right. Like, it's harder when it's out of concern. When they're like bullying me and poking fun at me, you know, that's different. But if I sometimes feel like they're saying like, man, if your dad was alive, he probably wouldn't have okayed that. Even though I know he would have. He was my biggest fan. You know?
But
When
that
everyone was
goes.
saying like
That,
you can't do the Ironman, my dad was like, go out there and run, bro. You know, and I was like, Dad, I know I'm not that strong, but I'm gonna open a gym because I'm good at teaching people. I'm gonna teach people how to work out. He's like, go, open your gym. You know, but if he wasn't here now, people would be like, I think it'd be out of concern. I can handle I have thick skin. I can handle that, but I'm very, very emotionally fragile when it comes to like. I guess this episode kind of turned. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm venting.
this is a
Maybe these are
typical
a lot
average money podcast.
maybe these are. I told you I've been having a difficult day, so maybe this is just some things that are coming out. But like, it's just like, and also too, like the grass is always greener, right?
Yes.
I have the same thing about like moving. Like I want to get out of New York. I would love to live in the mountains, but like, do I get to the mountains? And then and these are like the fears we talked about. My social, like the anxiety that I have about making decisions and things. That's why I don't want to be a good entrepreneur. I think I am a good one. I really don't. I think I am a better employee than a business owner, which scares me from leaving my teaching profession.
That's fair. I mean, it all comes down to knowing yourself and knowing who you are. And if you think you would be more stressed on the day-to-day entrepreneurship type living, then yeah, it may not be for you. You know, because it's not for everyone. And you don't want to do something just because you have a chance of making more money or because you may have a little bit more free time, but then you're also not getting any sleep and stressed to the max and not enjoying what you're doing. And that's
I do love what I'm doing, and a lot of this too is going to come out on Monday's episode when we have our wives on, because Tara talked a lot about this stuff, and like when I was going through opening these businesses and the relationships that I need to have, partners that I need to have, like when I opened the CrossFit, my partner was super fit, collegiate athlete, semi-pro soccer player, like a legit athlete, got into bodybuilding, was strong. Like he was the CrossFit face and body of the business, where I always loved the back end. I love the business. I like customer service. I liked, walking in and being wowed by a building. And so that was my favorite part of the brewery. You can't walk into the back of the brewery and not be like, whoa, like, look at this place. That was the stuff that I really liked. And not to like flex on people, but because it's like how like 100,000 subscribers, right? Complete vanity. It doesn't matter, but it's a milestone because it validates the work, at least for us. It validates the work you put in.
You want that.
So like when you oh God. But at this rate it'll be like 2024, but that's how it was with the brewery. It was like validation.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of great ideas and I've taken the leap of faith and I've had people to take the leap of faith with me. But I still consider myself more a W-2 guy.
And there ain't nothing.
There's also too like the cush and safe feeling of the W-2. Like
yeah.
My brothers say the same thing. I know Danny Hobson alive. He might even be in here, but like there's something to be said for be somewhere at 9:00, get these tasks done. At 5:00, job is done for the day. Do not think about me again until tomorrow. And here's going to be the most amount of money you can make. It's not scalable, and here's what we'll do. Some people are, and like, I like that structure too. Like, I like getting up, going to work, and getting that done. But the whole entire time I'm at work, all I think about is YouTube, the podcast, sponsorships, growing the business, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
But then I'm in the classroom and I don't think about YouTube. Like when I'm out in front of the kids, I don't think about YouTube. I really don't.
So I know we kind of talked about you knowing yourself. I have told Lindsay probably 100 times that if I ever go back and get a W-2 job, I will be the most depressed. I personally, as you listeners probably can tell, Sweet koozie, by the way. Um,
Is my thing still crackling and popping my audio in and out?
I think it's my internet.
You do?
Yeah, I think it is. I ran a test whenever you were talking, and I think it's mine. I'm gonna have to talk to my internet guy tomorrow.
Okay.
What was I saying?
You'd be the most depressed if you had to go back to a W-2 job. While you do
Yeah.
this, I'm going to go grab 2 more beers.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll be back in 30 seconds. Go.
Okay. But no, I was telling Lindsay how if I had to go back and get, a W-2 job because YouTube failed or because the other businesses, the podcast or the dividend tracker or whatever, just didn't perform or real estate's not picking up, that would crush me. And what I was saying is you listeners might be able to tell, I don't know, maybe not, but like I'm a very strong-willed, don't tell me what to do type person. That may be a flaw of mine, but I think it's also a strength in some aspects as well, because that does help me give that kind of like benefit of being an entrepreneur. And I've always had that even during my regular jobs, is I would not take constructive criticism well because I wanted to do it my way. And I thought the boss's way was stupid or dumb. And when you say that to your boss, that's usually not good. So like that was kind of my real big downfall with working my 9 to 5, is having that boss, having to do it his way, having to answer to him. And like my last job I was at, and me and my boss there, we still talk to this day. We're good friends. He's a little bit older than I am. And I kept showing up late. I had to be in at like 7 o'clock, and I
love the story. I love the story.
I would show up at like 8:15, 7:30, 7:45, and I would always take my time. I'd go get my coffee. I never rushed because I was like, I don't freaking care. Like, I'm coming in when I want to come in. Another reason why I'm probably not the best employee. So he wasn't in the office every single morning. So there were some mornings I showed up late and he was there, and there were some mornings I showed up late and he wasn't there. It was kind of like a crapshoot. Well, one morning he was in there, and this was like, honestly, probably my 100th time I was late. And he sat down and was like, JJ, we need to talk. And I was like, is this about me being late? He goes, how did you know? I was like, I knew it was coming. I'm not going to lie to you, dude. I knew it was coming. I said, to be honest, man, like, I did some work when I got home. There was a lot of nights where like I'd be in the driveway talking to, contractors or whatever and planning the next day and what's going to happen. So that would be sometimes 30, 40 minutes while the kids are outside playing. I'm stuck in the truck, trying to get the next day planned. So I didn't care if I showed up 30 minutes late. And boss man didn't know that every time, but once I explained it to him, he kind of got that. But he's still like, dude, I need you here at, 7. That don't make sense to me. Like, maybe if I had employees, it would, because I'd be paying them and I would be expecting them to be there when I want them to be there. But that's why I'm not a good employee. That's why I would rather.
Were you hourly or were you salary?
Salary.
Okay.
Another reason why I didn't care, because I knew I was getting my hours in regardless. So that's a big thing for me, is like having to answer to someone. Like, I love the fact that I can choose to work whenever I want to. Today I laid down Lindsay and I, when Millie was taking a nap, I was laying on the couch at 12:50 watching the news, and we were both covered up laying on the couch. I'm like, there's no way I could have done this at my 9 to 5. There's no way, but this is amazing. I got my video out. I went down, we laid down, we chilled out, and just kind of hung out.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada.
Got back to work.
It was a great lunch break.
Jesus Christ.
But no, man. So, like, I will say this, though. With that, not having a boss and not, I don't know when to turn it off. I don't know when to turn work off.
So you're not a good work-life balance person.
No, I try to. But like if I say, hey, I got to go up there and send an email real quick, I'll turn around and it's 4 hours. And I go downstairs and I was like, what in the hell just happened? She's like, I didn't want to bother you. I know you're probably busy and stuff. And like, that's kind of a big con for me, is like, I'll lose track when I come up here. But I also like that though, because that means I love what I do, man. Like, I love negotiating. I love finding deals. I love figuring out new video topics, content I'm going to post, podcast ideas. Like, I love all of it. I love the hunt. I love the chase. I love the thrill. I love the, am I going to make it? to next month or whatever. Now that leads me to my next big con though is stress. I will probably say I have had more stress as an entrepreneur than I've had working a W-2, solely because of the income situation. Now, that's one of the reasons why I set myself up the way I did financially, paying off the mortgage and stuff, to give myself a little bit of a breather and to not be so stressed about it. But having that focus of trying to make money, having to grind when I need to grind to make money, I will not lie to you guys, like there's nights that I lose sleep because I'm waiting on an invoice to get paid that I think this company may be trying to blow me off, or looking at money coming in for this month and knowing what I got coming in, it's not looking like it should be, and I have quarterlies I got to pay in a couple weeks. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, no, again, I got money in bank and stuff. I need to pull it, emergency funds or whatnot. But it's still the fact that like I'm going to be making a lot less than I made last month, and the previous month, and the month after that.
Is all of your stress financially based, you think, or majority? Like, what piece do you think is? I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to because I feel like my entrepreneur stresses. I never thought about the income side, and maybe that was because I had the W-2 to back me up. Like, is it mostly financial? Like, if you knew YouTube was going to pay you a minimum of X amount of dollars every single month,
I would not have any stress. Well,
I don't want
to say I wouldn't have any stress, but if I knew YouTube for sure was going to pay me, let's say $3,500 a month, or call it $4,000,
right?
I'd sleep like a baby every single night.
Really?
Yep. It's strictly income because I'm not financially independent yet, and I have kids and a wife. And I think a really big like weight on my shoulders is I love the fact that Lindsay gets to stay home with the kids right now because I know she truly loves that.
Right.
And Lindsay has
and I know that's big for our friend Kelly here too. Like,
yes,
she's been trying to grow her business for years because she knew that one day she was going to want to become a mom, and she's currently working towards that. Congratulations, Kelly. And that's building that.
Well, hang on, I'm not done yet.
Okay, yeah, but go, yeah.
So that's one thing that I think really stresses me out is knowing, like, because Lindsay has told me before, she's like, yeah, babe, I mean, like, if we get in a bind and we got to go make money, like, I'll go back and get a job. But if I have to come downstairs and tell her, like, hey, babe, you're going to have to go apply for it, like, that's the ultimate soul crusher for me. So that's one thing that's always in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, man, this month ain't looking good. Is Lindsay going to have to go get her job? Which luckily we are months out. We could go months without earning $0 and still be okay. But it's just the fact of, like, it's just such a mind game, man. Like, that's why. But again, as an entrepreneur, that's why I'm grinding a little more than I was maybe 4 months ago. Because money is not coming in as much as it was in the past. So that means I'm gonna work a little harder, and then I'll go out and do more things, like finding real estate deals and try and earn income from that way as well. Like, I'm not just relying on YouTube. Like, I'm now really focusing on real estate as well. So, and that leads me to other things too, man. Like, I have potential bills. The whole sewer line issue with the rental property, that could be a potentially $20-something thousand expense. That is a huge expense that I was not expecting to have. And I mean, I have an emergency fund, and I have, liquid funds I can pull from my Fidelity account, but still, like, I don't want to do that. Right. I don't want to pull money out from that. Like, it sucks, dude. And, like, that's the crap that I think about,
And Jay, this is the exact thing back where I was saying a couple of minutes ago, how the safety blanket of my W-2 eliminates all of that when it comes to my entrepreneurial stress. Like, dude, I can never, because obviously I met your wife. I know her pretty well at this point. She would go back to work and not say a word about it.
Yes.
And she wouldn't even spite you for it. She's had a pretty good run. She was here last week. Like, I will go back to work. But I know you, as a God-fearing countryman, you are just like, the thought of telling your wife to go back to the workplace.
Couldn't do it, dude.
You feel like a little bit of, forget failing in business. You feel like you failed as like that chivalrous man that you are.
I gotta be the provider, dude. And I know some people like don't like that, but like that's how I was brought up, and that's who I am.
Right, and I'm very much the same way. But But my stresses in entrepreneurship come from like growth and making sure that I come across genuine and that people get the true version of me. And because I don't, like I said, the W-2 job pads that need, that financial need for me. Now, granted, it's fun when the money's coming in, man. It is.
It's a rush.
It is fun. And I mean, we treat this business a little like Chris and I, when we first started making money at the brewery, we spent that money on living a life that we saw other people living.
Got it.
We weren't good with money, but like we were going to every damn beer festival in the country. Like literally, we traveled around. If we found a beer competition, we were putting our names in it, and we were going to be there. And Chris usually won. Like, who the hell are these assholes from New York? You know, and we were going to expensive dinners, and like it was nice when the money was nice. But then, you know, in the wintertime when not a lot of people were drinking beer and sitting outside, and the bills started piling up and we needed to grow and expand. Now, once again, we're like butting heads, like that money thing. And I never have to think about that portion. And that's why I'm so scared to make the leap, because just like you mentioned, like I could never imagine being like, hey, Tara, we're going to save up for a couple of years. I'm going to get a kitchen. We're going to save up for a couple of years. We're going to get a new deck.
Yep.
I couldn't imagine that conversation of, hey, you know, we used to be able to do that, but now I don't think we can do that anymore. And I see it in your eyes, like every once in a while. And it has nothing, because like I said, whenever we're venting to one another, you know, we'll at the end of it be like, we're pretty blessed.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, it's not terrible, but a lot of the times our biggest fears have nothing to do with ourselves. Like the fear is, if I fail, how many people are depending on the things that I'm doing?
That's the biggest part, man. Like if I was single JJ, I mean, I wouldn't have. I mean, I honestly,
impossible. But you haven't been single a day in your life.
Literally, almost. Yeah, I mean,
single JJ. You wouldn't last a minute out on those streets. You wouldn't even need Tinder. You would just be good to go. No such thing as single JJ.
I don't know how to take this.
You're blushing over there, bud.
Yeah. No, man. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, you made me lose my train of thought on that one. No, like the dependent factor, you know, like having kids, having a wife, and then on top of that, trying to run a business and keep income coming in. Like, yeah, it gets tough at times. But like, if I was only having to depend on myself, dude, like I could eat out a can of green beans every single night if I had to, you know what I mean? Just to keep that business alive and going. Like, it's a little harder to do that when you have growing kids and you got to buy things and doctor's appointments and dentist and, you know, new clothes and new shoes and like you know what I mean, you're a family man, dude. You get it. Like, things add up quick. And then you got to buy toys because your kids are at home with the wife and they're bored downstairs because you don't live in a big house, because you bought a smaller home, you know, because you're taking these risks to try and do this entrepreneurship thing. So then you don't have as much room for the kids to play. The downstairs basement isn't really set up to go downstairs and play all the time. It's 98 degrees with a 99% humidity outside. So like, you're just sitting here trying to think of like, okay, well, let's try and get the kids this, or let's go do like this. It's a life. I get it. But damn, dude, sometimes it's tough. And yeah. I think people don't speak about this side of entrepreneurship a lot because, like, at least for me, like, it's a real thing. And I do have stress. And then when things hit me all at once, like my AC going out in my home, the sewer line I have to replace, plumbing issues in the new rental property, like, and it all happening this week, like, that adds up a lot, especially when you're looking at your income next month. You're like, where's my income coming in at? And I got all these bills to pay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, I have money set aside. I have money set up. We're set up for that, but it's still the stress of like, holy crap, this is real life. I know I ain't got that guaranteed check coming in every single month, minus the cash flow from the rental properties or whatever it may be.
Yeah, and it's not spoiling our kids either. It's just like, we want to give them certain things that they can like it's easy too. Like right now, Tara and I are having these conversations with like, man, we just lit up winter. We just killed it, you know? And now, I mean summer, and we're like, oh man, what the hell are we going to do with these kids in summer and winter? When we can't go outside, like what the hell are we going to do with these damn kids outside?
I know, dude.
Oh man,
That's the
dude,
tough part.
it is so hard, and
I
that's
will.
why.
Well,
Go ahead.
let me say this real quick. I do also really have to mention, like, the grass is always greener is a real thing.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I've gone through my life long enough to realize no matter what predicament, situation, or time of life that you're in or whatever you're doing, and you're like, oh, it'd be so cool to be able to do this and to do that and go here and go that, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So be thankful to just be doing what you're doing, period. Be thankful that if you have a W-2 job that is paying the bills and getting you by, be thankful for that. And if you want to do the entrepreneurship, I think the best thing to do is start a side hustle.
Yeah, what should people know? I mean, we talk all the time. It sounds cliche to people when we say monetize your hobby, but I literally don't think there is a hobby out there that you can't monetize. Like if you have a hobby, you can monetize it.
Yeah.
Literally anything. Now, do I think every hobby can become a multi-million-dollar corporation?
No.
No.
But
like
that's not the point, dude. Like, and
everything
I think
Tyra was saying the other day, like we watched this YouTube channel called like Uplift or something like that, and they're talking about like different businesses, and he's talking to this guy who started a house cleaning business, and Tyra's like, I love cleaning houses. Like I would love to like clean houses as a side hustle, but like I feel like people would look at me and be like, she's a mate, like she cleans people's bathrooms for fun, but like Tara's all about the process. Like she likes the finished product. She likes a clean like look. She likes when people notice that she cleans the baseboards and dusts everything. Like she loves it, and I'm like, it's okay if that's your hobby, because a lot of people be like, that's not a hobby. That like I challenge anybody to tell me a hobby. I took beer drinking as a hobby and made it a multi-million-dollar business. Like you can take anything that you like to do, and now, like I said, do I think you can take a hobby and make it into a business that you can quit your W-2 job in a year? No.
No.
Not everyone. I mean, some things, but not everything. But everybody can, especially with this world of like the internet. Like I just challenge people all the time, like figure out a way, because if you have a hobby, you paid somebody somewhere along the way for that to like learn it, get the equipment to do it, whatever. You paid somebody to learn about that hobby. Like why did the buck stop with you? Why aren't you getting paid by somebody else for the knowledge that you paid somebody else? Like, right, we pay colleges for education, and then people pay us for our education. Right? We do, like, why does the buck need to stop with you? And I think that was something I always asked myself. Or how many times have you walked into somewhere and you're like, why doesn't this business just do this, that, or this?
Yeah.
That's how my CrossFit, I was going to a CrossFit gym, and I'm like, this dude treats his members like crap because he was an elitist, and he was like, didn't really need us. He was just like had a gym so he could train. I was like, man, if we built a gym that did this, but we were nice to people, the place was clean, and we had a great community, man, I could do this CrossFit thing. And it was like, boom, done. And so many people do that, and I just challenge, but like you mentioned, you can't, and Gary Vee, we started with Gary Vee, like we can almost end with Gary Vee. And it's like, he also mentions like, you do not start a side hustle so that you can quit your W-2 job. You start a side hustle so that you can make money in something that you are passionate about, that you'd probably work for free in. And then the cliche, if you build it, they will come, happens over time, 2 to 3 years. The IRS will take a loss in business for 3 years.
Yeah.
So like, if you don't start a business with, and we've discussed this with the podcast, I said, hey, we at least got to be friends for 2 years. Like we got to give this 2 years to at least give this a shot.
2 things. You mentioned Gary Vee. It's funny. I was literally writing something I heard from Gary Vee a long time ago that really stuck with me, and I still think about it to this day. and I can't quote it because I was trying to look it up while you were talking, but I couldn't find it. But Gary Vee said something that stuck with me that says something along the lines of, would you rather make $50,000 doing something that you love and working on your time, or would you rather make $150,000 having a set schedule working for someone else?
Yeah.
You know, and you got to think about that. Like, I would much rather take a huge pay cut, but still be able to have my own schedule, make up my own time, work when I want to work,
Right.
versus making more money at a W-2, because we talked about earlier, you also have the hopes of potentially raising that income over time in your business. But that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is, for me, knowing the type of person I'm at, I would be, I think, more better off working for myself for a lower wage than working at a W-2 for a higher wage. And then there's a second quote I want to have here that is an exact quote that I heard last week listening on the Bigger Pockets podcast from Robert Kiyosaki. He says here, and I quote, "The perfect reason to start a business is to buy real estate." I got to end it on that.
No, but
it's so true though, man. Like,
about the lower wage thing, like we've talked on this podcast, and you've said a number of times with the real estate, you don't need to be a real estate mogul empire. Like, your life is designed where you know how much money you need to live an amazing life. Not bare bones, not enough to cover the bills. You know how much money that you need to make to live a great lifestyle. That's your goal. And when you get there, that's it.
Yep. Everything else is
like,
icing on the cake. Exactly.
And I think it takes a real money mindset to get there, because I'm the same way. That's what financial independence is, right? That's retirement's not an age, it's a number. We're working towards that, you know, and then when you get there, you get to do fun things.
Yeah.
You get to do some things that you want to do, but what do you say to the person that wants to start an Etsy shop, or, you know, I always just want to challenge people to start things. And I remember when I was trying to start the CrossFit or starting the brewery or YouTube or this podcast, the upfront cost is always something that's interesting. But just know that regret costs a lot more money than the money it costs to start a small side hustle.
So it's funny,
because I get to 40 now, and I'm like, I'm no longer in the CrossFit, I'm no longer in the brewery, but like, I at least, it'll still be there, the picture will be there, I'll be able to tell my kids. Where if Chris and I, when we were drinking and we were like, and Chris was on the podcast, you can go back and listen to this episode, but it's like, when we were sitting around like, dude, let's just fucking open a brewery. and we did it. If one of us would have been sober and been like, we can't do that, man, that's too much. We're 7 years later, I would have been so upset. Like, the regret costs way more money than starting a side hustle.
I'm so glad you said that though, Brad, because I wrote down when you were talking about like people, or, you know, why don't they just start that Etsy shop or whatever. I wrote down, why not just do it? And The reason I wrote that down is because I have had so many personal friends, and even some of them are just like acquaintances that I know about. Like, I wouldn't really consider them like close friends, but when we talk at the bar, or when we're out in public and people come up and they ask me, like, they know the things I'm doing now, and they're like, oh, dude, it's so cool, man. Like, how are you doing all this? How'd you even think? How'd you do? There's no way. I was like, guys, like, I'm no one special by any means. I'm a short,
you're pretty
average dude that's drinks beer and likes to talk about money, and slightly overweight now. So I just tell them all the time, I'm like guys, like, if I can do this, and the reason I did it is because I didn't let that little voice in my mind tell me not to. I didn't let that voice talk me out of it, because we all have it. And I know every single one of us listening right now has had this voice in their head say they have an idea, and this idea seems pretty cool. But then you let that idea go on for about an hour or two, And then that little voice comes in the back of your head, and they're like, oh, well, it'd be a cool idea, but then you got to jump through these hoops, and you got to worry about this. And, well, what about this time frame when you can do it? And, this thing is going to be a hassle, and you may as well not even start it. And there are so many more people who listen to that voice and never take the leap of faith just to freaking try something, to where if you just go out and try it, you are way farther ahead than majority of people out there. Like you said, Brad, with you and Chris just randomly starting the brewery. Just try it. The worst thing that can happen is it fails, and at least you try it. There's one thing that I live by, and I always will, and that's I always say, like, if I'm old JJ and I'm about to go meet my maker, I want to know that I went through this life doing everything that I set my mind to and everything that I truly wanted to do. I could not imagine living a life where I don't try everything that I'm curious or interested about.
Mm-hmm.
Why, like, you are giving the gift of life to be able to do whatever you want with it. Where you're at in life is because of the choices you made. Now, everyone has different starts, obviously. Some people have a very good upbringing or started in better, start off a little better than others, and some not. But once you get to a certain point in life, it comes down to, like, you got to make the certain choices to get there. And if you want to do it, just do it. And that sounds so cliche, like, just do it. But that's as easy as it is. Just start it. Don't listen to the damn excuses. Don't make up excuses. Go try it. If it don't work, try something else.
This is going back to the CrossFit thing that I mentioned before, like how I want to start it. And I'm going to tell another good story because it actually just came to me. But if you've ever been somewhere and you were like, I could do this better, and you didn't say that because you had a bad experience or that you were mad, you said it because you're passionate about what they were doing and you thought you could do it better, you should do it. I'm sitting at the beach. I'm sitting at the beach with a friend of mine, and this, I can't believe I've never actually brought this up in the podcast. And he was talking about what a joke this guy on Etsy was, that he was selling driftwood on Etsy. And just the wood as like a decorative piece.
Wow.
He was sanding off some of the rough edges, but when driftwood, it's kind of like beach glass. When it tumbles, it gets all smooth, and all the little like BS branches, like driftwood's cool. And he's like, I can't believe this guy's selling driftwood right off the beach for $100. And I'm like, so why are you hating on him? And he's like, because it's just such a mess. Like, his website is BS, blah, 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 blah. He's like, it's just a sham. And I'm like,
you go do it.
I'm like, why don't you do it? He's like, I'm not starting. I'm like, all right, what do you need? Like, what's holding? Is it money? And he's like, yeah, maybe, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, here's $500. I didn't give it to him on the spot, but I was like, I'm going to give you $500. Prove it. Like, do it better. I think he said he sold like $10,000 worth of driftwood last month.
Oh, my gosh.
Every single week, him and his wife, they go for and this is like a healthy thing that they've done now. They go for a walk on the beach. He has a pickup truck. They bought one of those, it's now evolved. They bought one of those like beach wagons that has the huge freaking wheels. They go for a long walk on the beach, and they literally just pick up 3-foot pieces of wood. And it's gotten to the point now where like he'll engrave them and he'll do certain, like, this is like 2 years in the making now. But this dude who hated on a guy selling driftwood made the changes that he said he would have made that day, put that guy long out of business, and now his wife works from home and she runs their Etsy shop.
Wow.
He works as a teacher, and in the summer when he's off, he helps her. And his freaking garage, it looks like he's stacking kindling for the winter, is just a pile. And they've gotten to the point now where they're like, hey, you want to drive down to Delaware and hit that beach? Do you want to do? So now they're planning all these beach vacations, and this all came around this like stupid thing where somebody popped up on his Facebook feed that he was selling driftwood, and now he's probably does 100,000. Now he's selling $100,000 worth of wood that he literally picks up off the beach. We had a storm a couple weeks back, and I'm like, "Yeah, what are you doing this weekend?" He's like,
Going to
"Hi."
get some driftwood.
He's like, "Henry's coming in. It's good. It's gonna be a good time to restock. It's time to stock up."
Wow.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. But that's so true. Like, you can do, if you ever want to see the stupid things that people spend money on that will pay you for, go on Etsy. It's nuts. Don't let your wives see it, men. And maybe some of you men, don't let your other man see it. Etsy, it's worse than Target. It'll get you. I mean, Darius got, by the way, the bracelets that your wife recommended off of Etsy, they were beautiful. But stupid shit like that, like this woman literally is taking like puka shells and making bracelets and selling them for absorbent amounts of money, just putting people's like little initials on there. You know, we'll have to get that for Kelly when her baby's born. We'll send her one from that woman on Etsy.
Boom.
But like, I just think about this, like, and I'm like, and you met my friend Brittany. She had a booming Etsy shop, and it was going like this. It was starting a hockey stick over the summer, and then her teaching job started in the city where she was miserable, commuting to the city, and she shut down her Etsy store to go back to being teacher. I'm like, Brittany, do you understand that? Like, if you would have just kept going with this thing. But people like me, they're afraid to get rid of their W-2 job because they hold on to it. Like, they'd say, "Oh, my little W-2 job.
My precious.
My precious. I pet you." I think more Tommy Boy. "Oh, this is my this is my sale.
It,
I
you
pet
stroke it. And then
New guy's in the corner puking his brains out. Oh, my God.
Shut up, Richard.
Get out of my office. Get out of my office.
Great movie.
But we digress.
Yeah, no doubt.
I can't leave out a good Tommy Boy quote, but we challenged people to run a mile a couple weeks ago. We quit.
Ooh,
Well,
we bringing that up?
you quit, and I was just out to beat you, so I beat you, so I win. So I stopped. But I mean, I challenged somebody that's like been thinking about starting a side hustle.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. Like, I remember talking with people like you and Kelly. Kelly has a Etsy shop, I believe, where she was selling printables and stuff. And I remember being like, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And then you were like, Brad, it's as easy as just like uploading a document and giving them a little bit of money to like host it on their site.
Yeah.
It's the same argument as like, I'm not going to sell options because I don't want to pay short-term capital gains taxes.
Right.
I used to hate on Etsy the same exact way. But now it's like, okay, maybe you don't want to do YouTube. Maybe like you're an Etsy person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Etsy is the YouTube of crafts.
Yep. So true.
It is the YouTube of arts and crafts. It's ridiculous. I mean, and even like woodworking projects. I saw this guy on YouTube where like he made a bunch of cutting boards for his friends, and then one of his friends like brought it out at a party, and there was a guy there that was like a big shot like store owner or a big shot corporate guy, saw this cutting board, was like, this is the most amazing cutting board ever. And the guy put in like an order for 100,000 cutting boards, and he's like, I don't know how to, I make like one a weekend. Like, I don't know how to fulfill that.
Yeah.
And boom, now the guy's has a cutting board company.
Crazy.
That he makes butcher block cutter boards. Like, please, guys. I'm not saying that everyone needs to quit their W-2 job. And the point of the podcast is that take a bunch of momos like JJ and I who have business experience. And before we wrap this up, I listened to a guy on YouTube. I think his name's like Kirby something or something Kirby, Andrew Kirby maybe. And he made a great point about business. He's 22 years old, and he made a video about how he earned $1 million and the reasons why in his small businesses. And he said there's 100 steps to making a successful business. He goes, unfortunately, 99% of the future successful business owners start at step 2, and they worry about steps 2 through 100 before they ever worry about 1, and 2 through 100 scare them so much that they never start.
Wow.
Like step 1, YouTube channel, hold your phone out in front of your face and start recording. But so many people, they want to start a YouTube channel and they're like, can't start a YouTube channel. I don't have backlighting and microphones and cameras and light. I can't start a YouTube channel because they're worried about steps 2 through 100, not step 1. Etsy shops, like I can't start a website. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't start with step 1. Find step 1. And like I said, find why you spent money. And maybe, and I said, or maybe you're like both of our wives and you're just pretty cool at like being a W-2er.
Yeah.
Brian wants to do a YouTube channel. We're taking a pause from the podcast quick, but Brian Hunt wants to start a YouTube channel.
Do it, man.
Why'd you say JJ? Why didn't you say, hey, JJ and Brad? I have a YouTube channel.
Nope.
It has a measly old 89,000 subscribers, but
Yeah, you ain't got no plaque, dude. You ain't nothing.
I'll have it one day.
Yeah, you will. It's coming up.
One day. It's gonna go right.
Let's wrap this podcast up, and then we'll chat.
What do you got a PB?
No, I'm just gonna grab another beer, but I'm waiting until we wrap this up. Let's wrap. I'll let you close this out because you're talking, and then we'll sit on the chat. Chat with everybody.
I feel like JJ, we can go back and forth about like the things we've learned, and this is probably going to become like a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4, and because we still have a lot more to learn when it comes to business. I mentioned that I'm probably not a great entrepreneur. And I think that we also have a bunch of more businesses that you and I are going to start that we don't even know we're going to start yet. Like I tell my high school seniors, the jobs that they're probably going to do for their careers haven't even been created yet. I look forward to the businesses that we'll start, and I look forward to hearing about the businesses that other people are going to start, because we mentioned, just to come full circle, that we see a lot of entrepreneurs in our space. So we feel like there's a lot of them and it's the newest craze. But I really think it's more of we're surrounding ourselves with like-minded people that are doing the things that we're doing. And that makes things awesome. And we clap when people win. We clap when Brian Hunt crushes AMC calls. I have a thing inside my Discord on side hustles. We have t-shirt makers. We have everything in there. And I love to hear that. So guys, please share that with us, or share if you already have one going, share it. You guys support us. Allow us to support you in the ways that we can. And this whole movement will climb up together. Jay, I can babble on because when I'm emotional and had a couple beers, I can talk all night long. So I'm gonna hit the wrap it up button on me. Do you have anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, so the moral of this episode, this was, kind of my idea, is I wanted to talk about how really there's pros and cons to everything you do in life. I really did want to touch on, like, grass isn't always greener on the other side, but you also have to know yourself. And I don't know if we really got the point across of, like, I don't really think there's a better, like, which is better, entrepreneurship or a 9-to-5. I really think we did determine this. We determined you have to know yourself as an individual.
And take the shot.
Now, yeah, I think you should try both. If you have... Now, there's different people out there. If you're the person where you're like, I know hands down I don't want to be an entrepreneur, then you have your mind made up. You're set. You don't have to worry about it. But if you're the person that I thought I was kind of wanting to speak to tonight of like, should I try entrepreneurship? Should I try the side hustle? Should I maybe do this? Should I try to make some more money on top of my W-2? Try it out and see what happens. You're not going to lose anything. Maybe a little bit of time if nothing comes out of it. But, I mean, hell, I've lost a lot of time doing things that weren't successful. But I'm glad I tried them out because now I know that I either, one, didn't want to do them or they just weren't for me. So that's kind of the moral of what I wanted to get the point across for this podcast is going over pros and cons of both sides. But also, if you have a very small, just little tiny of piece of you that wants to start and try something different, do it. Don't go
Yeah,
your whole
please.
life not doing it or not trying
Mo-
it.
Monetize your hobbies, and regret costs a lot more money than trying to start a side hustle. JJ, thank you so much for being here tonight. Guys, thank you so much in the chat. One of the beautiful things about being ahead on these podcasts is we can kind of dream into the future 5 or 6 weeks. So I just want to say that, now that it's sometime in October that this is coming out to the public, I hope everyone's excited as I am that we're in hoodies now. There's no more heat. There's no more humidity.
Flannel season.
The Mets have just won the World Series. It's like life is good. Life is good. And until we catch you guys on the next one, work hard, stay positive, and always please be kind to other people. Have a great night, guys.
Boom.
What a shit show of an episode.
That's how they go sometimes, bud. I thought it was pretty good.
I hate your audio. They hate my audio. But there's a couple of good things to say in chat, guys. First off, so many great things. Like I said, so many great things in the chat. I definitely want to get to. Not Water's not here anymore, but guys, they've supported JJ a ton, and they've always been cool with me. So check out, if you're into barbecue, check out Not Water's Instagram page. They're good people. Like, not sponsored. They do not give us money or anything like that. But like we said, when we have friends that are doing good things, we want you to know about it. So instead of spending money at the grocery store, if you're going to be barbecuing this fall, just tell them JJ and Brad sent you, and if we make any money, we'll pay it forward to you.
And I'm serious, like their barbecue sauce is, God, it's out of this world. It's so good. I could drink it. It's so good.
Turn on that AC, bud. Go ahead. You can do it.
I am.
And then there's so much stuff in the chat. Kelly, I'm so glad you got to a live stream tonight.
Me too.
Kelly's one of the OG live streamers with us.
She is I'll say this.
I remember when I got her on a Tuesday talking, I was like, Tara, I know it's a girl. She's a blonde, but you're going to have to trust me. It's strictly business. She has 20,000 subscribers.
No, dude. I remember whenever like me, you, and Dennis were going live and we're like, Kelly from Freedom and a Budget is coming on.
Don't
oh,
fuck
shit
this
balls.
You would say, Brad, be on your best behavior. She's a God-fearing woman. Be on your best behavior.
Man, that's too funny.
So thank you, Kelly, so much for being here. Everybody else is here. I'm just scrolling through, getting some stuff. Jeremy asked a bunch about my 403 videos. Yeah, I'm more of a 457 guy, but definitely have some 403B videos. What else did I want to catch up quick? My audio sucked. Yeah, we had to get through that. Growing down. Oh, but did he just hit us again?
Cheers. He said, now let's get this anniversary party started for this.
Oh, my God.
Let's go, baby.
I'm gonna have to go get some drinks. Maybe I'll whip out the guitar later. We'll see. We'll see how weird this is gonna get.
Yes.
How many natty lights you have? You never have stocked up beer.
I have quite a bit with me tonight.
Good for you, bud. We need to go for it.
I have quite a bit.
Also, too, Dollar Blazing in here too.
Another OG.
Yeah, I definitely probably one of my first 25 to 100 subscribers. Dollar Blazing has come out. Man, you came out so long ago. Were you here? Were my kids born yet? Has it been 4 summers? Or was Avery just born when you came? Can't remember. My financial friend hopped in. I don't know how long Sam was in here, but he was in and out maybe. Or maybe he's just sitting there chilling like a Bill Bob Dill. Date to the Jameson out. Yeah, I finally finished that Jameson. I'm going to go upstairs and get another bottle. I did stop the recording. I realized that I only need the recording to sync it. And then I was like, maybe me recording was affecting the audio. But like I said, I know I got pretty bang Wi-Fi here.
So you got good. We were good towards the end because I texted Lindsay and I said turn off because she was probably streaming downstairs.
Shh.
And that I think
you were that commercial. Everyone's streaming in the house and
yep. That's it.
But that's crazy that you're hardlined in there. That's streaming should only happen with Wi-Fi. No,
it changed.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm still talking to my internet guy because for what I pay, it shouldn't be doing that.
My wife is in bed. That Delaware wood set. Guys, I'm telling you, I got to get LD on the show actually because that is an awesome side hustle. It's nuts.
That would be a cool
My-
episode, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got to get, I'm going to text him quick and ask him what his Etsy shop is. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, that'd be a cool.
Because it's so stupid.
Dade says the sound of another subscriber again. I still got to add those widgets.
Well, let me ask this kid. What his Etsy shop is.
Driftwood.
Dude, it's nuts.
Harrison says you need a house with Ethernet ports everywhere. Yeah, my house is like 90 years old.
Yeah, and I guess, I don't know, maybe it's like where I live, like if my Wi-Fi is just as fast as
Hardwire. Well, yeah, I mean, you're like
when
right
I plug
outside
in.
New York. I'm in BFE.
BFE is right. Mine's to do we own any Bitcoin? Yeah, I'm selling off mine. I actually talked about that.
Are you really?
Selling it off.
Why are you doing that?
You don't watch my live streams, bro?
Not the last few. I haven't. No, why?
Because I'm just getting old and I don't need that speculative life anymore. I'm just trimming it down, and because my base was so low, so I'm pretty much just getting some money out. I'm dollar cost averaging the way out, because kind of like when people add bonds when they get older. I'm just trying to get like a little less. I'm just trying to get like a little less risky.
Man, I feel like. Go ahead.
I just got down to where he said, "Let's get this anniversary party started." I totally forgot about it, so thanks for reminding us.
Let's do it, baby.
Son of a bitch! I can't believe we've been podcasting for a year.
It's crazy, man. Hey, Ryan's in the house. I haven't seen him in the chat yet.
Oh gosh, I love that guy. Ryan was in there for my Twitter debacle before I had to delete them all. He saw it. He was right in the middle of it, and then I'm sure he was like, "Wait, where did all those go?"
Yikes.
I think he retweeted and was like, "I agree with you," but then it got bad. Oh, Lynn's been a long time subscriber
Lynn's
too.
been a long time. Yep, absolutely.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yep, man.
Thanks.
I'm just thinking about the days of like live streaming on YouTube, like me pre 1,000 subscribers. I saw something pop up the other day, and I literally had nothing. No, even, dude, the first podcast. If you go look at the Average Money channel that you guys are watching on right now, if you click videos and sort by oldest, and you look at our Zoom call right here, there is nothing behind me. It's just a blank wall. And I was looking, I was like, holy crap, man. That was like right after I quit my job. Because I set up this office maybe a month or two after I quit my job, just because I told Lindsay, I was like, I need something like to come up to like feel like this is work. So I bought all this stuff to kind of like make it feel like work, and it helped. But like the first episode, no, I had nothing up here.
Yeah, no, and even starting the podcast, because I asked you to do a podcast for a long time.
Yeah, you did. And I had work and everything.
Yeah, and you and then you were just like, hey man, I think I might actually have some time, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
And honestly, dude, like we're really like, I want to say like we're really starting to like, it's really starting to take off a little bit. We had a big pop in like January, February, whenever all financial content did, but like now it's really starting to like uptick again.
The podcast.
Yes.
And that's happening because also too, I think the website's helping, guys. If you haven't been to averagemoneypodcast.com, just even a hit on that tells Google people are going.
Yep.
So I think that, and we're going to try and get some of the blog posts. Aaron Azevedo wrote a bunch of blog posts for free. A bunch of other people
where's he at tonight?
He's in like, this is his busy time of year, infrastructure before winter and stuff like that. He's been really busy at work. He like oversees like the track work and track maintenance for the railroad in Southern California, so he's pretty busy. But yeah, right, Brian's been here the whole time. But yeah, so he's been writing a bunch, and all the other people that DM'd us or emailed us over that time of like, hey, I'll write a review of I'll write a summary of the podcast and what you did, and we got a bunch So those are going to be going on the website. But yeah, no, and we're really excited about FinCon. Like this is going to
Yes.
come out. This is going to come out weeks after FinCon, but I've been trying to get to FinCon for 3 years. And if for those of you in the chat that don't know what it is, it's like a financial conference, I guess. And
Yeah.
we have, well, you've gone as a YouTuber, and I've bought tickets to go as a YouTuber. And then my son was, 2 years ago, my son was born the week of FinCon. And which is crazy. He's 2 this weekend. And then
Wow.
last year with COVID, we didn't get to go. So, and I got on a scholarship. So I've been trying to like get. It's so funny that the scholarship I won was like new YouTuber
Oh, wow.
scholarship. So it's like 3 years later, my YouTube channel almost has 100,000 subscribers. So
Jeez.
I hope it says it on there, like
New YouTube.
winner of the, the scholarship for new YouTuber.
That's
People are
funny.
gonna call it BS, but we're really excited to go there and
Austin's
learn.
gonna be fun.
We're going as podcasters, not as
Yes.
YouTubers, and
Yep.
we're going to learn ways to make the podcast better for you guys, but also to help grow the business because it's not really a business.
I mean, it is. Like it's
it's
a
It
hobby business, maybe.
yeah. I mean, Brian pays our bills. Thank you, Brian. Thank you,
Big
and all
supporter.
the other super chatters in the world out there. But
Yes.
but we want to learn how to, because we're so new to this. Even a year in,
Yeah.
we haven't learned anything about the podcast space in a year.
Well, you gotta think though too, man. Like it's also hard because when you and I were like starting YouTube, that's all we were doing was YouTube. So that's all we focused on was YouTube.
Right.
The podcast is kind of like our business, but we still have other things to maintain right now, on top
Right.
of family life and kids and everything. So we don't have as much time to sit down and dedicate to learn all about podcasting. That's why I am excited for FinCon to really get a crash course of what we're missing out on, of what we don't know, and to talk to other individuals that are a year or two ahead of us
Yeah. No,
and where we're going to be. It's going to be good. And then also nightlife, it's we're going to have a good time. Me, you, and then another YouTuber, Jared Morrow, are staying in an Airbnb, so that's going to be fun.
And I've never met Jared.
Yeah, I haven't either. Not in real life. Like we know him
Right,
personally,
yeah.
but yeah, we've never met him in real life. So
Kelly will be there with her husband.
Yep. It's gonna be a good time. I'm excited.
And Austin's a great city.
I've never been, and I can't wait to go.
So it's a nice city. We're gonna get ourselves in trouble. You love DC. It blows DC away.
DC was amazing, dude.
Is anybody in the Austin area? I mean, we're both leaving Saturday afternoon, right? You're leaving Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, I get in
But-
Wednesday. I get in Wednesday lunchtime, and then I leave Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
My arrival time is still classified information because I have a W-2 job. And I'm leaving like Saturday afternoon.
Yeah,
Oh man,
it's coming up, bro.
we're a bunch of lucky ducks.
Yep.
Bunch of lucky ducks. What other business would you want to start?
Honestly, right now, I just want podcasts and real estate to blow up.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do the rest of my life is just talk, have conversations with people, and buy real estate. I'd be a happy man.
Robin, the DC FinCon was 3 years. That was the last live one they had. Was
2
like-
years ago.
That was 2 years ago when my son was born. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is the best. Because before that, I was in Florida. That's when I first got on YouTube, and everyone was like, see a FinCon. And I just started talking to people. I was like, what is everyone talking about this FinCon thing?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going next year. And Tyra's like, sweet, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, that's cool. We can still do this. So I didn't get to go. And I was like, and remember you and I talking? Like, I'm like, so the due date is this day. I'll be in DC. I can make that drive in like 5 hours. And you're like, Brad,
Yeah.
shut up. You are staying home with your wife. I
Yeah.
think it was Kelly was like, Brad, shut up.
You're not going.
You're not going to FinCon.
And
then he was
you
literally-
must have had some FOMO, dude.
Oh God, it was brutal. But he was born. Well, I missed the whole like thing because he was literally born that week. He came a little bit early, and I'll never forget like sitting in the hospital holding my son, and like he's asleep, and I go over to my phone, and it's like you drunk whipping scooters with Apple and Nate O'Brien, and you're taking pictures with Graham Stephan, and I'm like.
Oh, man.
No, I don't even like those guys. No, it's funny because I do remember it, and I do remember the FOMO. It was all like the stuff after when people got home, and
Yeah.
and there'll be people that have FOMO about it this year. And
Yep. Hey, quick shout out to Ethan. He says, just want to thank you guys. Been here since episode 44 with my voicemail, doing great things for the community. That's what I love, man. I love those little quick messages like that.
that is awesome, and it's so true, like it's a shame that we all don't live on the same cul-de-sac.
It'd be cool, man.
Because if we did, that would be danger, danger, danger.
It would. We'd be having a lot of bonfires where everyone's out till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning talking about money and fire community and getting ahead in businesses and whatnot. Oh, man, that'd be fun.
I'm just looking. What was episode 44? Not to say that we don't value them all, but
I can't remember them all, dude. There's no way.
Hold on, I'm at which one? Where's 44?
Huh. Man, I'm tired, dude.
Oh, there's 40. Ethan, you still there? We're 40, 41, 42, 43, 44.
What is it?
Hold, cash, or invest. How much? We talked about that one a bunch.
Yep.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I think this is one of those, that was from March 26, 2021. So I think we're both the same. Like, that was when we first were talking about, like, the 5 year, like, wait 5 years if you're going to invest money for big expenses and things like that. Oh, man, those were good times.
Harrison asked, would I buy investment properties out of state? Yes. But I would do it once I have a team set in place. And I kind of do it already.
Yeah, can I ask you about this, actually?
Go ahead.
Because Bryce brought one up,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought you were going to be all about it. Not all about, like, that particular property, but all about, like, expanding into a different market. And I kind of got the vibe from you that, like, you were comfortable with your little KC Kush that you have going on.
For sure, man. Like, I'm definitely more comfortable in KC than I am moving anywhere else because I know the market. I know what I can expect in rent. I know the areas. I know mostly good pockets versus bad pockets. Like, that, I mean, I don't even know that my personal market that well here, so that obviously is a huge comfort zone of mine. And now that I'm going to be utilizing a new software to help me with, like, off-market deals, I'm excited. I just don't have a reason to leave Kansas City, man. And, like, I can still find good deals without having to go anywhere else. Now, it takes a little longer to find good deals because you and I have been looking for a while, and I look every day on Zillow for us.
Right.
Maybe these off-market deals, something will pop up. But we'll have to wait and see. Samuel just gave us a $5 super chat. Love this podcast. You guys are so real and relatable, honest, knowledgeable, self-deprecating, and did I say that? Yeah, deprecating and funny.
You did. It's a big one for you.
That's a big one. That's a 50-cent word for me. Thank you, Samuel, man.
I'll say I know
that.
how to say it, but I don't know what it means.
I don't know either. I'm good with numbers, not words.
Well, that keeps us on the podcast. Keep the streak alive.
That's
Cannot
right.
go to bed. We're not fucking leaving.
Yeah, as long as super chats stay on, I'm staying up.
Dade said any Airbnbs in the future. See, I personally, like the Brad Finn, I'm more into going the Airbnb route. I like the idea of short-term rentals.
Oh, sorry.
there's a couple things about that. Like generally, they have to be in places where people want to go. So sometimes the process of acquiring them and keeping them very nice is more expensive. And I talked to I had a interview once with an amazing woman, Deanna McIntyre, out of Boulder, Colorado. She has a ton of Airbnbs, and we talked about certain things like that. And she mentioned like when you have a long-term rental, people move in and they kind of make their own space. When you have a short-term rental, like you have to present that as a first experience every single time, which is really, really difficult, which brings on added stress. And also too, the places where Airbnbs are best, cities are really cracking down on them.
Yeah.
If I was going to do Airbnbs, I would go the route of like national parks. I see like no matter what the economy is or whatever's going on with money, people are always going to go to the Grand Tetons. People are always going to go to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
People are always going to travel and go to the Appalachian Trail, things like that. So if I was going to go Airbnbs, I wouldn't go city. I would go to remote places where people are going for a specific reason. Like when you go to Zion, you probably camp outside Zion or things like that. But like those major national parks people will always go to them. I think that if I was going to do Airbnbs, but I like that idea.
I
like short-term rentals. Go.
If I do Airbnbs, it's going to be at the lake. We have some major lakes here that a lot of people vacation to.
The Ozarks?
It's one of them.
Heard there's a lot of murderers and drug dealers there.
Oh, Jesus.
That's just TV, though.
Yeah.
No, it's true but then again, just you mentioned that, and Tyler Blaze and I. Did somebody say Appalachian Trail? Exactly. She's gonna hike that one day, and it's gonna be effing awesome. But people, when you get into real estate, and Bigger Pocket says this all the time, don't buy a real estate investment as a vacation home.
Yeah.
Like you never want to be like, I go up to the lake, I'll go up there a bunch, let's buy the house.
Yep.
Because then it's like the numbers don't work and you get emotionally attached because it's your vacation home, and then it becomes a really bad deal. Like it becomes like the worst what's that thing where you can never get out of timeshares. It becomes like the worst timeshare of your nightmares. So it's like, oh my God, I want to get an Airbnb in a place where people travel, and then I'm like, maybe I could travel there. But then I'm like, oh man, that makes it a bad deal. You know?
I mean, not if the numbers work. Like, if the numbers work and it happens to be a spot you want to go to, then
the first place when I go on and like I'm just like cruising.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I scroll through real estate like people scroll through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The first place I always look is Lake Placid, New York.
Mm.
If I can find a place on Mirror Lake that was under $1 million, I would just have to. It's Lake like. Do you know what Lake Placid is?
Yeah. There's
So
alligators in there, right?
Okay, so there's a Lake Placid, and then there's a town Lake Placid, then there's a Lake Placid, but on the town of Lake Placid is Mirror Lake. But that's where the Miracle was.
The Miracle, what do you mean?
When we beat the Russians in hockey in the Olympics.
Oh, that was on that lake?
Well, they played indoors, but it was
okay. I get it. Yeah.
It was in the small ski town, like Whiteface Mountains was the downhill, but like the Ironman Lake Placid, you swim in Mirror Lake, but Mirror Lake is in Lake Placid. Lake Placid is actually like kind of where the alligators are. That was actually pretty far north.
Okay.
But yeah, the Miracle on Ice was in Lake Placid, and it is the most amazing like place. It's my happy place.
I always think about, like, I think Airbnbs are a little far out for me, to be honest. I'm really trying just to pick up single-family, multifamily properties. But I'm not opposed. Honestly, if I see myself getting into Airbnbs, it would probably be some sort of development that I do around the wineries here in where I live.
Kelly said I have a place in Lake Placid, Florida. Not the same. Not the same. Oh my gosh. I've had a couple cocktails tonight, folks. I'm not gonna lie. Feeling no pain right now. feeling no pain. And I just I see that red right up at the top chats.
I know, Brian's. I'm just waiting. And then right before it goes off, somebody's gonna go boom. Well, so last night, dude, no, like I didn't get any sleep last night. I've been going back and forth with this company. They're not paying me my invoice.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go New York on them.
I'm about to. I did get a notification in my email this morning though from Bill.com saying that they did submit my invoice. And Bill.com is like a third party, so I'm hoping it shows up tomorrow.
I'm talking about Trevor. Yo.
Trevor Hassel.
What episode was he?
He had the question about the RV and stuff.
Early though.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Let's see how good we are on Google right now. I'm gonna Google test us. I'm gonna type in Google Trevor Hassel Average Money Podcast.
Well, I know you can get to the site, but why does Bryce keep saying launch? Does that mean it's not technically out?
I don't know what he means by that. Trevor Hassel Average Money Podcast. Come on, Google.
I've also heard a lot of people. I know John Scholler's trying to get into the Airbnb game.
Nope, he's not there. We're not even hitting on Google, guys. He's a busy guy though. He's all over the place. He's hitting every other Google thing but us. Damn it.
Well, is his name in the title? Well, his name's on the title.
It's in the description. Oh, it's maybe just Trevor.
That's probably why.
College students are buying stocks. See, you are on CNBC, bro? Little boy.
Boom, baby.
That a boy? Anchor.
Harrison asked me a question earlier. I didn't get to it.
Okay.
Do you put down as little as possible with rentals or 25%? Right now, I put down 25%. And that is my own cash that I'm using. Hoping now with having 2 properties, a HELOC on my personal, that I can just start using equity as buying property and not have to use cash out of my pocket. It still would have to be 25%, but
Trevor said he's got all the pictures from his RV FinCon. For FinCon, he's going to be at FinCon. Trevor's going to be at FinCon. He's got all the pictures for us.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Brian Hun. Now I got to go get more beer.
Yeah, no, I'll get you. Well, he said I got to go get more Jameson, even though he spelled Jamie wrong.
Now you can have some more beers. Jameson, guys, let's party. Let's party. You going to go first or me? Oh, my. We may have to unlist this podcast. If you guys know that we have a live podcast and then like you check the next day and it's unlisted, you know it got a little weird.
You could just trim the end.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Guy said want to buy an Airbnb and then prices skyrocketed. Yes.
Yeah.
That happened everywhere.
Yeah.
Massive Brian killing. He always is.
He's killing it, man.
Very good. He's very good.
Legend.
Just like I say to my A+ students, though. Just because one kid has an A+ student doesn't mean that I don't love everybody. Just because Brian Hun financially supports this podcast, it doesn't mean I don't love everyone the same.
Are you going to grab beers first or me?
Let me go because I got a PPE.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
And I'm going to get Tell More Due, too.
Okay. I want anyone. So if you got a question for yours truly, can be anything. Personally related.
When are you going to grow your beard back?
I actually like it like this, man. It's a lot less I have to worry about. Financially related, anything. What you got? I am all ears. Nothing is off limits. Man, I can't wait for FinCon though, Trevor. It's gonna be a blast, and I can't wait to see all the pictures. I'll tell you what, man. Lindsay and I keep talking about it. We can't do it yet with everything going on with businesses and whatnot, but definitely going to definitely going to be a bucket list item for the family to take a year off, and or even if it's just like 6 months, just to take an RV trip. And who knows, by then, if I'm set up with real estate and whatnot, then I don't have to worry about the YouTube channel as much. And that'll be like, my YouTube channel will go from like straight finances to like a family RV channel. And all of my subscribers will be like, what the hell is going on with this channel right now? But that's why I'm really focusing on 3 things: podcast, the software me and Bryce are creating, the dividend tracker, and then real estate. So Harrison says, JJ, you said your house is around 90 years old. Would you buy something nicer, or would you rather live simply and invest? So right now, with the current state that I'm in life, where I'm at financially, I'm not financially independent as of now. I would say that I would much rather live a more simple life. Yikes. And invest as much money as I can. And then in hopes of 5 to 10 years down the road, be able to maybe upgrade a little bit in-house. That's kind of my game plan right now, is live here for another 5 to 10 years, see where this takes me and what happens with YouTube, real estate, podcasting, everything. And then that will kind of be our deciding factor of what we do. And yes, my fingernail is partially painted. That's what happens with being half girl dad. And actually, Mason painted this. Millie didn't even paint this. It was Mason. But
I just remember somebody asked me in my Discord if we gave Brian Hun money to super chat us to try and get other people to super chat.
Did they really?
Somebody asked me that.
Huh, that's weird.
If you think that, the answer is no. Dude is very generous.
Yeah, Brian's a legend.
I got to tell him or do, though. That last one, this is gone.
Ooh, you are getting sloppy tonight.
This is better. This is different than this.
Still, I mean, it's whiskey.
Triple distilled. This one's better. This is like a little bit nicer. Like the Jameson just sits next to the computer because sometimes you just need a shot of whiskey in the middle of the day. This is like the good stuff.
Brian says he's gonna be at FinCon, so we'll be there. Brian, I would say a good mic that I use for my videos.
Brian Hunn's gonna be at FinCon?
That's what he said.
Where did he say that?
Just now. That's gonna be a fun drinking night.
Did you see Dollar Blazin's question?
No.
Did you answer that? Did you
Oh,
answer that?
why did we quit the mile challenge? So I would say mine was a more of a.
Let's take the we out of this.
I didn't say we. I said
Okay.
mine was more of a. I mean, call it what you will, but a shin splints issue. With buying $200+ shoes.
Well, that was a little.
It was
that was
after. It was
Yeah,
after.
it was a little post active.
Because of
I
it.
don't know the word I want. Yeah.
They were getting worse as time was going on. And like I would literally walk up my stairs and I would just be sitting at my desk getting shooting pains in my shins. Now, am I still running? Yeah. Still running. Still doing more than a mile run. It's just I'm not doing the mile day challenge.
I want to talk
I
so
lost.
much trash, but the people that don't know me personally will know that I'm just busting chops, and I'll sound rude, but like,
It's fine. I could bring it back pretty good. I think that's a different time and place to do that. Different time and place.
I thought you were gonna go more than 2 weeks. I gave you more credit, but this is a good thing.
I got to 20 days.
Incorrect.
No, it's not. 20 days
20?
is what I got to. Yes. 20 miles I ran. I walked 2 of them. Bro, I couldn't run, dude. I'm not going to hurt.
Listen, I'm not taking away your injury.
Listen, I'm not going to ruin shins to run a mile.
I know.
I'm not doing it.
Some people would, and some people wouldn't.
Absolutely, and I'm not going to ruin my shins to run a mile.
Right. I'm with you.
Okay.
Still lost.
Okay.
I just know your ego can't handle it.
It really doesn't. Honestly, the amount that I hate running, I don't care to lose that because that's something I know I'm not going to win at.
This is one of those things. Like if you're gonna do challenges and wagers, you have to put more on the line than people's egos because your ego doesn't care
About running. Nope.
Yeah.
But if you go back and listen to the episode, I even say, because I listened to it afterwards, I said, I don't even know if I'll make it a couple weeks. I say that in the episode. Because I know how much I hate running.
Right. And I thought the JJ Buckner I know is going to we're going to be 2 years into this thing and he's going to be like, I'm not stopping.
If it was something different, like if it was rowing or working out or like a CrossFit workout or whatever like that.
If we had $1,000 on the line, you wouldn't have quit.
Very true.
I
had nothing to lose except to say that I didn't do it.
Your ego. There has to be something more on the line than your ego.
For running, yes.
For anything. Anyway, I'm not just talking you and I. I'm talking if you're gonna bet with your boys, anything. There has to be more because you can put your ego. People can put their ego aside and be like, okay, cool, make like you're doing right now. Like, cool, make fun of me, man. Like, yeah I stopped. But I listened to the episode too because I edited it and I said, I'm going to light you up if you stop. And you said, I'm going to light you up if you stop first. And
I probably would have. Shout out to Dave. Good stuff as always, boys. Wife is doing great. That's awesome to hear, man.
That's awesome, man. That's so great. So cool. And, my friend Brittany, she's had her baby early. I think 36 or 37 weeks. And they came home today. So that's great news.
Awesome.
We got a little freaked out there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think 37 weeks is like just at full term, but it's still a little sus.
Yeah.
Everything worked out good, but.
Still losing weight, by the way. Not to change subject.
No, but listen, like the mile challenge, and I think I'm going to give a couple of examples. Like my Discord chat and your Discord chat. The true value is the community.
Yeah.
Right? The days that I'm not there or like people, they may go in because they watch one of my videos and then they get in there, but they stay for the group. They don't stay for me. I think the same with this little Strava group that we have going is some people walk, some people run, some people run really fast, but at the end of the day, there is a support. And I get a little competitive in my head, and even Tara's like, Brad, calm down, bro. It's like, calm down. And I'm like, no, fucking leaderboards. And she's like, calm down. And it got to the point where I've run more miles in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
As a whole. The group and the challenge has helped me with consistency. Like,
there's no way I would have ran 20 miles / walked 2 of them if I wasn't in that group.
Yeah, and the same for me. Like, there's been times where I've trained for Ironman and like I've had a couple good blocks and a couple good weeks and things like that. But to go 5 weeks and get 8 to 10 miles every single week.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm not doing every day. I'm trying to do every other day because my true passion is cycling. So if I ran every day, it'd be hard to cycle on top of that. So, but now, like yesterday, I ran 3 miles and I didn't have to run on Monday. And today I rode my bike for 45 minutes. I didn't run. But tomorrow, you bet your ass I'm coming out. I'm going to run 3 more, and I'm still going to get to my goal. So the Strava group and the challenge, even though I'm not doing a mile per day, which I've already done, like I said, there's water under the bridge for me. I still want to cheer on the people doing it for the first time.
Yes.
And I don't want you and I quitting to like make people think that like that's it, that we're not cheering. Like, I didn't want to win that challenge. We had people in there today talking like, man, I haven't been 207 pounds in a very, very long time. Can't wait to be under 2. Like and it's not even about weight loss. It's about like gaining consistency in your life.
Yep, and just staying active too.
And that's the best thing that's happened with like that Strava challenge and any other challenges and things we bring up. Because at the end of the day, and this is what my wife had to tell me, like, Brad, it doesn't matter who goes the longest. What matters is like Robin has walked more miles in the last month than probably the last couple of years of her life.
Yeah.
And people are finding out that they have similar interests with other people in this financial community. Like, there's people in the Strava group now that are in Discord, and it's like, we could talk money, but
Yep.
we can also talk going on a run.
Yep.
And then seeing where people live, like, I'm like, wow, if I'm in Blooms, whatever, Colorado, I can go run with Olivia probably.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just building the challenge really, and this is me admitting, like, in retrospect, the running the mile every day really meant nothing. It was about bringing people together and like seeing what they were going for.
Yeah. Shout out to Brian again. He says, I love helping these two guys, and no, I don't get paid by JJ and Brad. I love this community, and JJ got me into stocks, and now I can pay it forward. Since January, I made over $200,000. Thank you guys so much, Ape Nation to the moon. Let's go, baby.
Brian, so that's a lot of money, but do you think that 200K was sustainable, or was it like, because people obviously see that number and they're like, come on, man, like 200K, like, come on, like, either the guy's got $1 million that he's playing with, he got really lucky, like, is that a replicable goal for you? Like, in a 10-month span, you made 200K. Do you say, like, in the next 10 months, I'm going to make another 200K? Or are you like JJ and I's like YouTube career, where we know February was big, probably won't have many more months like that exactly, but we still learned enough where we're going to make like.
Uh-oh.
We clap for people win. I'm just curious for the other people like that are watching from the outside, like, is that sustainable? Are you going to make another 200K?
I would say what happened in January and February was a I don't want to say like a once in a lifetime opportunity, but it was definitely a huge opportunity that doesn't happen very, very often in the market. The last time we saw a major like short squeeze like that was back in 2008 with Volkswagen. When's the next one going to happen? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure, man, but it's shout out for doing it. Most people don't make 200K in the market, period. So the fact that he did it in January is amazing.
Since January.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll pull the guitar down by the end of the night. We can get that down. We can get it pulled down.
Barrel, 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 barrel.
We just have to come up with a sing-along, but only you and I will sing.
Oh, I'll sing.
Robin said, "No shade for stopping. Was just surprised. I was surprised too when you quit, man. I'm not gonna tell a lie."
Hey, Olivia's in the chat.
Was she here?
You just mentioned her. Yep.
Oh, right on. Yeah. Did you hear when I shouted you out?
Nice. I don't know, but she's in here. She says, "Hey."
Yeah, but like, I was surprised when you quit. When you were like, when I scrolled and I was like, let's see where JJ ran today, and I saw a walk, I was like, oh my gosh, I was surprised.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, dude,
But I knew your shins hurt.
There's
Was your favorite run? Was your favorite run the run on the beach?
Honestly, I think my favorite run was the first one. Like 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
The one on the beach was good, though.
The one on the beach was really good.
You should tell people you annihilated a New York sub
6 pounds of a sandwich.
right before you ran a mile.
It was horrible.
So JJ flew in. You got in at what, like 9 or 10 in the morning Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah.
By the time we got home, we waited for Starbucks. I'm like, I'm gonna get your wife Starbucks.
And by the whole time we got to your house, I'm like, guys, I'm freaking starving. Let's go eat.
Oh.
And when I'm hangry,
yeah,
I'm hangry.
JJ is a hangry. Like JJ's, I'm so starving. I'm
I need
starving.
food.
Yes, he's like that. But like, I couldn't wait till I get your wife Starbucks, and we get there, and they didn't have the thing that she wanted.
Yes.
Like, unfortunately, we are out of macchiatos today. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway, so we get these huge New York sandwiches, and I said, JJ, you want to like eat first? You want to go to the beach? He's like, feed me now. And I was like, no, we're gonna bring him to the beach. And he's like, we gotta do this mile. So we get to the beach. you start eating, what'd you get? Chicken bacon ranch?
Yeah.
The huge chicken
And
bacon
these
ranch.
chicken cutlets are like this thick and this long. They
And
ain't no little Subway chicken pieces.
And I'm like, dude, you're gonna run after that. Meanwhile, I'm chugging beers at 11 in the morning, and
Because
he's
I'm in
like,
town.
and he's like, no, it was 11 in the morning. I was at the
Yeah,
beach,
it's true.
and you were like, you're gonna run on a couple beers. I'm like, dude, drink a beer, and you're like, I gotta run. I'm like, you won't run on a beer, but you'll annihilate a 4-pound sandwich of chicken bacon ranch. So I banged out 2 quick beers, and I'm like, I'm going for it. And you're like, I'll be there in a minute. I'll be there in a minute. So I get back and I dive in the water. JJ's like, I'm out. I'm like, and you left, and I think your wife was like, he's not gonna feel well when he gets back.
She was
And
right.
you went off all hippity hoppity on the beach, like, and then you got back like this.
Literally felt my stomach coming up to my throat.
And I was like, Jay, just jump in the water, man. You'll feel better. It's nice and cool. You're fresh. You're like, can't do it. Can't do it.
Felt sick, man.
He started doing this one. You know this move?
Oh. I was literally running with an extra 6 pounds in my stomach.
Then you cracked a beer, though, and all was golden.
And that was good to go. That water did feel good after the run.
Sam said something that's so funny because you were running. And I said to Tara, I'm like, yo, I'm going to go relive the Rocky scene and see if he does it. You know, Rocky and Apollo when they're running on the beach and then they hug and they jump. It's the most homoerotic
Yes.
scene in all of all movies. I was like, I'm just going to run up to JJ, like splashing through the water and like put out my arms and see if he hugs me.
I probably would have jumped on you.
And then Tara's like, Brad, we're younger than you. Not everyone has seen that movie. And I was like,
oh, God, I know Rocky.
I was like, everybody has seen the
Yes.
Rocky and Apollo splashing in the water. Sam,
Yes.
I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it, but then I was like, because also too, the beach was packed that day.
It was.
And I'm like, JJ's gonna be running down the beach.
Well, no, not only that.
And I'm gonna run out there and do this, and you're gonna stop and look at me like,
What are you doing?
what the fuck are you doing, bro?
No, not only that. Everyone we ran past looked at us like we were idiots.
Everyone's it's Saturday morning. Everyone's drinking
They're
beers.
like, what are you doing?
And also too, like, I don't look like the guy that like goes for a morning run on the beach all the time.
I don't
So
either.
I'm sure everyone was like, oh, look at this guy trying to change his future. That's how I feel. That's how I feel when I run my people at the beach. I feel like they're saying like,
They're like checking their calendars, like, is it the first of the year? What is this guy doing?
new year, new you, bro. Good to go for it. That's what I think people say when they see me running. Like either that or when I'm like running on the street. I feel like people are like, man, that guy just proved to me once again that running sucks. Like nobody ever looks good. I'm sure at the end of like a 1 mile run, I'm like this. But
That's
hey,
funny.
I lost some weight too. I lost like 16 pounds last month.
There you go, bud.
So it was all good.
Boom.
That's literally a friend test. It really is. Robin said that's a friend test. If you can run up and just grab somebody.
Yeah.
But I always honk on the horn and scream at you, LaGuardia, at the airport though.
No, that.
I was like JJ Bucker, big time YouTuber. Everyone's
No.
like,
A true friend test is if you FaceTime.
we do a lot.
I ain't FaceTiming like just a conversational call with somebody. You know you're pretty good friends if you're FaceTiming. Because like
FaceTime.
I FaceTime my mom and my dad and you. That's it.
FaceTime.
Yeah, and then yeah,
Well, also too, our kids always want to say hi.
they do always want to say hi.
Avery and Mason are gonna make out one day. You know this, right?
Oh my God, don't.
They're gonna.
Yeah, yeah. It's your daughter.
Down by the creek. Well, don't make your son a loser. Hopefully he's worth hopefully he lives up to the standard that I have for a man.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
More pressure on you, man.
Yeah, city girl Avery's gonna come down and be like, "Oh, Mason, country boy, what are you gonna show me? Like, come here, let me show you this creek. Let's go skip some rocks."
I said it's my daughter, but don't forget you have a daughter
I do have a daughter.
and I have a son, and they're 3 months apart.
Yep. Yikes.
That's gonna be a bad camping trip when they're older.
Mm-hmm. And we're all drinking it now. Yeah, go have fun.
Yikes.
No.
Yikes.
I may have to throw some bows on Brody real quick. Boom! Boom!
Mason, I'll be like, here, Mason, want a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Want a dinosaur, Bob? And he's like, he's looking at Avery. He's looking at the Tyrannosaurus Rex. He's looking at Avery. He's looking at the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, man, I can't. Brian's got another super chat.
Another one?
He said, I started with $20K, Brad. My wife is a doc, so I'm very fortunate. I worked offshore as a diesel mechanic while my wife was in med school, so she let me start this stock market journey. That's awesome, man.
Holy shit, that's 100x.
That's crazy. So crazy.
Good for your wife. What a saint.
Yes. Awesome.
And good for you, man. Offshore diesel mechanic is like...
And we're going to
not a
have a
job-
brewski in person in FinCon.
Oh, dude. Beers are on us. I see Brian Hunt out. That dude is not paying for a drink.
Yep, we're buying him a beer.
I'm buying him everything.
Beers.
I'm buying him... I have a feeling Brian Hunt doesn't drink beers if somebody else is paying.
We'll find out.
Oh, gosh.
Crazy.
FinCon. Are you just gonna be in Austin, or are you going to FinCon?
He said he's going to FinCon.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Are we going to record in FinCon? That's the question.
I told you.
I bet if we
you.
record, it's going to be like at that live booth with someone.
I told you, like, so there's a part. You've been to FinCon,
Yep.
so like you know how it is.
I will say this: spur of the moment interviews happen like that.
But what I'm saying is, like, I have this grandiose idea of like where we just have the stuff packed up or the stuff out set up, and we're like, hey, you want to come back? You want to film for an hour? Oh, meet us later, and like hang out one night at the Airbnb, and just have like 3 or 4 hours of podcast people just that want to fucking podcast. That's the way
That's not gonna happen.
I know that's what you've told me, but that's the way. Like, I'm not gonna bring my gear so you and I could talk.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's a lot to like pack up. TSA hates mic
They
stands.
hate
Like,
mics.
they're like, what are you gonna do with this thing? I'm like, keep my microphone on.
Yeah.
Like, it's got springs. It makes noise. It's got these bars. I'm like,
No, we won't.
Meanwhile, I could bring an ounce of weed on the plane, but I can't bring a microphone. You know, it's fucking retarded.
We will not be on. We will not be in the Airbnb, but to sleep and take showers. That's it. Maybe eat breakfast or something.
Where do we party?
Dude, there's bars everywhere, and like there's happy hours. There's late night happy hours. Like you're out with brands. Like it's just. Trust me, it's nonstop.
Can I take you to a CD brewery?
What's a CD brewery?
Like,
is it made out of CDs?
No, seedy, Seedy. Like they don't say that by you.
Oh,
seedy, like
seedy. No, I don't know what that means.
Like sketchy. Like in the chat, do you guys say seedy? Is that a New York thing?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Like seedy is like suspect, like a little like sketch.
What's a sketch brewery look like though?
Like off the beaten path.
That's like a hometown bar here.
Oh, true. Every place in Missouri is seedy.
Oh, bro, I have you talk about seedy or whatever the hell you're talking about, man. I got a place for you to go. When you walk in, you're going to be like, where in the hell am I? When you walk into this bar, it's one of those bars where it's like, so it's a family-run bar. It's in a small, like little small town offset of like the main town. So when you walk in, it's one of the ones where like everybody stops and like looks at you when you come in and see who you are. And if they don't know you, they're going to stare at you until you sit down. And it's probably anywhere usually from 20 to maybe 50 people in the bar. 50 is a busy night with like a band, but I'd say around 20 to 30 people in the bar. You walk in, smoke filled everywhere. It's cheap canned beers, like $2, $1.50 beers, $2 a beer on a Friday night. And they got either they have a jukebox playing or they got live country music. And dude, it is a freaking blast. It's usually the spot you end up like after you've been out at the wineries or something, and everybody's like, let's go to Bader's, and you get like a real greasy cheeseburger, and then you just get swasty-faced at Bader's, and it is oh dude, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's a true Missouri bar.
Lynn said seedy as in dodgy. Yes.
Never heard of that.
And then somebody else said definitely no seedy. And then David said dodgy as in Dogecoin. No, so when I went to Austin the last time, through like my brewery contacts, someone's like, "Yo, you want a hidden gem? You want something off the radar that like you won't find on Yelp?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to go there." And the place, it just blew me away. The beer was fantastic.
This was in Austin?
In Austin, yeah. It's right around the street from Franklin Barbecue, actually, but we can't do Franklin Barbecue. You got to get there way early. And Brian, I have a very big humidor, so I'm down, bud. Did not know. Yeah. All right, so there you go. Seedy. Guys, you can use seedy as sketch.
Ooh, I love cigars, too.
It's what the kids say.
Never heard of it.
Seedy?
Nope.
I've said it in conversation. So every time I've said it to you, you kind of just let that slide. Like, I don't know what he's talking about, but I'll just let it say it. Because I've said it to you 100 times.
I guess I just let it slide.
Like when we were in New York, and Tara's like, "I'll just call Lyft." And I'm like, I'm not really into Lyft. They're kind of seedy. You didn't say anything.
Nope.
But like you were there. You heard me say it. Like, why weren't you like, what the hell does that mean?
I probably didn't care what you meant and just knew I was going to book a Lyft anyways. I was like, I don't know what that means. I'm going to book it.
Oh, Travis said, if you're in Austin, let's get a brew. We'll be in Austin next week.
Next week, we'll be there for 4 days.
You must have just gotten here. Yeah, we'll be in Austin from Wednesday to Saturday. And apparently we have to work during the day, but we're going to play at night.
I am very busy during the day. I already have meetings lined up with multiple people.
Yeah, because like we're going for work.
Yeah. But happy hours usually start around 4 or 5 o'clock. I will say this. It's a lot, and it's a lot of meeting and people and talking at DC. And me and you can go do this if you want. But I think it was like Friday night. There was some happy hour somewhere, but I wanted to go eat dinner by myself. I'm a very outgoing individual, I love talking to people, but I need my alone time to kind of like recoup, get my energy back. So like
it's called an Irish exit, my man.
That's exactly what I did. I just left. I went and grabbed a burger and a beer by myself. I sat down at a bar. I didn't talk to anyone. I just enjoyed my burger. I texted Lindsay on the phone a little bit, got updated on emails, and just like enjoyed my Friday night in a different city by myself. I walked around, did a little scooter ride, and then I met back up for happy hours later.
How many subs did you have then?
I just hit 10,000.
So like that was a different, like, because I remember you, we were texting at that point, I believe, and I just remember you being like,
"Yes,
dude, like, I just landed a $500 sponsorship that paid for that paid for the whole trip." And
wow.
I'm like, you made $500 on YouTube.
Holy cow, dude, that's crazy.
Oh my god.
I do remember that though.
Dave said, winter is around the corner. We need to get you started back on that beard. David has a very nice beard, right? Dave, that is you with the beard, right? Brian gave me $5. Said he has a 500 cigar humidor. I think mine is 100. I think mine's 100.
Brian, mine's actually 501.
I don't know if
I'm blowing smoke, obviously.
Oh, I don't what. Oh,
I said mine's 501.
Oh, I thought that was the name of a cigar.
No, I said I have a 501 cigar humidor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool that yours is 500. Funny, I got the 501
Mine's
model.
the 501.
I actually prefer like almost like Corona cigars. Like I'm like after 20, 30 minutes, I'm kind of done. But I like a good 20, 30 minutes.
Yes, I like to sit back, chill, relax, and just
Yeah. So
vibe out.
I like a nice like Corona style cigar. Like I'm not one of those like Italians that wants to like chew on one for like 5 days. So I'm trying to think. I like something that's like a little like it's so funny when you describe cigars. It just gets weird, especially when you're I like something that's a little bit like long and thin.
Ooh. Robin, $5. Definitely expect to see live vids and Instagram stories. Oh, they'll be out there. We'll have to go back and forth on the Average Money podcast Instagram.
Not on Wednesday for me.
Not on Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes. Because I have a W-2 job. I'll be working on Wednesday.
I will be working, but... Oh, by the way, that sewer fix, that is a write-off, which will help
Is
my Oh, hell yeah. Anything. Dude, my whole trip that I took up to Kansas City, from gas, miles on my car, everywhere I ate, beers purchased, snacks purchased, everything purchased from Home Depot, all of that's a write-off, and I will probably show a loss this year, which is not a bad thing, because I did make a lot of money this year in YouTube, so that'll help cancel that out a little bit.
Hold on a second.
So it's like saving. If I had to pay $15,000 for that sewer line, it's like I saved $5,000 in taxes.
Corey said, "Hey guys, just got on, been in the ER, got hit in the family jewels the other day, got one infected.
Oh my!
Sitting here on an ice pack." And I said, "Yo, feel better," but then I thought, like, hit by what?
Yikers!
Hit by what?
That took you to the ER. Yikes!
Infected ball?
Bro, can I say this?
Yeah.
We're a late night live stream, few beers in. I don't care. I'll say it.
Baseball?
My
God, adults should not play sports.
Speaking of jewels, one of the most traumatic experiences I've ever had in my life
This is gonna get weird.
is the good old snip.
That's not weird.
I was wide awake. I could feel like the tug in my stomach.
In your stomach?
Oh,
That's not
yeah.
where it happens. That's not where it happens.
But that's where you feel it. That's what freaks you out. You can smell like the burnt skin.
Like, why are they in my stomach? Why?
Bro, it messed my whole world up. I was driving home and Lindsay's talking to me. She's like, "Oh, are you okay? How'd it go?" I'm like, you probably should have drove for me. I feel like I'm about to pass out right now because I'm literally have post-traumatic, or not, what the hell is it called? Like, after something happens, you have, like, anxiety or whatever. Like, I was not in my right state of mind. I felt like I was going to throw up.
Matt said this is when the channel starts to lose control.
That's so true. This is why we unlist these after. God.
Man, a baseball to the...
It was a baseball?
He said a baseball.
Yikes.
Adults should not play sports.
Ugh.
Adults should not play sports. I've said it once. I'll say it 100 times.
We staying on a little longer? Because if so, I got to go grab a couple brewskis.
We got some live super chats. I will not get off a super chat. I will not get off a live stream
Until super chats are gone.
These kind women and gentlemen have paid for the time.
All right. I'll be right back.
He said the snip was easy compared to this. Yikes. Jacob asked for a tax loss harvesting. Listen, here, I have videos on it. I'll post it. Here's what I need to know. Unless the market corrects 25% or more, it's not worth it. So when it does, again, because it did last March, when it does again, we'll talk about it. But I mean, you can tax loss harvest on a smaller scale, I guess, if you wanted, but I'm saying 20, 25%, it's not worth it. It's not worth your time. Snip gonna happen during March Madness. You guys and your snipping. So I told JJ, the snipping thing for me makes me more stressed out. I'm partying. I'm trying to party. I wish you could see my desk. There's just this. I'm trying to party. I'm trying. Thank you for your generosity. I appreciate it. This one's so much better than Jameson, so actually this is not a good idea. I should put this back and get a more disgusting one. Oh my God, that's so good. That's so good, so good, so good. The Hunt Foundation, it really is. And you want to know what? After we end these conversations, we always talk about the generosity of not just you, but everybody. We've said it before on the podcast. One day, this whole crew, we're going to be good to go. We're going to be good to go. Take care of everybody at some point. We just can't yet. So little kids and stuff like that. Oh, where do you get cigars from? Cigar Bit? Is that a website? Am I like a big puss? Like I feel like the last one I feel like the last one I had that I loved, I had like a Corona like Java latte. It sounds so terrible. But it was like such a good cigar. Like the Javas. I love that whole like Java line. But then again, like there's I feel like cigars are kind of like drinks. There's certain cigars that like you smoke on the beach that like you're just trying to get rid of, or like it's passing the time. And then there's some cigars that are like your kid is born. You know, like I said, my buddy just had a baby, and at 36 and a half weeks, we're gonna smoke a $100 cigar when I see him. I know now as a father that I have to stay away from him for a very long time, but Cigar Bid, really? I gotta get on that. Talking cigars. I want a sleeve. Should I do that this winter?
Oh, what?
A sleeve. I want. Why'd you go the wrist?
I've always wanted a 3/4, and then this one's gonna be full down to my knuckles.
Yeah, but like, now that you've done the 3/4, do you wish you went all the way?
No, I like the look of it.
The Java Mint is good too. All right, so I'm not a complete like poser cigar smoker if I say I like Java cigars. I really do. The Java Latte and the Java, they're so good. Wait, so you still want the 3/4 even though you got the 3/4? You don't wish you went the rest of the way?
No, I like the 3/4 on this arm. This one will be a full sleeve.
So then why are you going full sleeve on the other one then?
Because I want a full sleeve on the other one.
Why don't you want a full sleeve on your right arm?
Because I wanted a 3/4 on my right arm.
Son of a bitch, but why?
Because I think it looks. I like the look of it. I love 3/4 length sleeves. Those are my favorite shirts to wear.
But only on right arms.
It's just the first one I wanted to do, and it happened to be 3/4 because all the designs I had, it wasn't enough to fill up my arm either. But my left arm, I want it to be from top to bottom.
Can you explain this tattoo you got with your brother?
Yeah.
Because you guys did a terrible job of explaining the meaning of that weird, awkward symbol that you have on your wrist.
There's not really a meaning to it. So my brother goes by Buck, Uncle Buck.
Right.
And we've always kind of had this. Again, we were drinking when we did this.
I know me and you almost went and got a tattoo, and our
did.
wives were like, and we were like, no, your wife, yeah, the wives were like, no.
I think, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing yet with this arm, but so I have one side of like buck antlers. He has the other, and it's
they're buck antlers.
Yes, and they're opposite sides.
Okay.
So I have one side, he has one side. When we connect our arms, it makes the.
Okay, I just wasn't sure I wasn't sure what the design pattern was.
And our last name's Buckner. It's just always been like a thing we've said to each other. Like, he is Uncle Buck to Mason and Millie. Like, it just kind of fit. Like, we're not like huge hunters or anything. I hunt, but I'm not like an avid hunter where I go on like crazy hunting trips or whatever. But It was
Kill
more
the
of,
beast.
yeah, kill the beast. It was more of a drunk slash brother tattoo. What are we gonna do here last minute? And that's what we came up with.
Olivia said just got my forearm done. Can you post that as your Strava on tomorrow? I want to see that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Take a picture and post it as your Strava on tomorrow. Cause like, I want it.
Can I say
But
this
then
real
the other
quick,
thing
though?
too, like in New York, it's so expensive.
Oh yeah, it's
Like
true.
$300 an hour.
That's crazy. This almost every single thing on this tattoo has a meaning.
Right. No, and I had that too. But like, when I asked you how much it was, and you told me, and I was like, dude, $300 an hour here in New York.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that's why I can get this. Probably cost me $200.
Holy crap.
I don't know. Like but then like I want to keep both of these. I'd probably cover up this one.
Yeah.
So I had to like, I don't know. I'm more like chest and back. I want the rest. I want everything of this done. Because I teach.
Yeah.
But then again, I want to be like,
I want a neck tat.
no, you don't. Stop
do.
it. No,
I
you
do.
don't.
I would
Stop
rock
that.
it. I would do it.
Jesus will not forgive you.
Oh man, no, I will say my favorite part of this tattoo is, so I have birds on here because I call it Millie Bird or Millie Birds. But I have 5 birds for the family, me, my wife, Mason, Millie, and then our dog Tucker. And then this is the only color I have in my tattoo. It's blue and pink because my wife and I had a miscarriage. So that represents our miscarried, baby that we lost,
Right.
4 or 5 weeks into the pregnancy.
And Robin said like, I could always go out of state. Because
Yeah, we can do it here.
And too, like the words you have with Millie and Mason, like you have it all scripted in. Like, yeah, your tattoos. You should do a video on just the meaning of your tattoo.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Because you see sleeves, it just looks like a mess. But then when you actually ask people about it,
Yeah.
but like Robin said, like go out of state. I said to you, I'm like, I'll come out to you every 6 weeks. I'll just
do your
use
tattoo.
your guy.
He's awesome, man. He's good.
And
I
then Samuel said,
literally get. Well, I got compliments in New York when we were out there. Like it's crazy the amount of people that come up to me and like talk about my tattoo. It's kind of weird sometimes, but yeah, it's crazy. The guy does good work.
And Samuel says like a good artist is worth it. That's the thing. Like in New York City, like, and two, that show Ink Master.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of those people are from New York.
Yeah.
And it's like when you know that they're so close and that you can get them, you kind of want like that level.
Yep.
Like you don't want to settle for the next.
It's true.
Brian said, I'm not going to teach for 2 years. 2 years is right. Like, even though I say every year I'm going to quit, I'm not going to consider it until my kids are in school. So I can say with pretty full confidence, even if the brewery's making $1 million a year, that's bullshit. If it's $1 million, it's half. But I'm not going to stop teaching until my kids are in school. So that's like 2-3 years.
And
Matt,
see
you later, bud.
See you,
Yeah,
Matt.
Like, I gotta like wait till my kids go to school.
And my goal is to make it till my kids go into school, because that way Lindsay, I won't feel as bad if she goes back to work because she don't have the kids at home anymore.
She'll go back to work when they go back, or hopefully we'll build something where she can work for the business.
That would be sweet, but I don't know, man. Like if we're set up with money by then, which I'm hoping we are, like with real estate and stuff, I don't think she will. I wouldn't mind her just being at home doing everything. I think it'd be sweet. And then her and I have the freedom to travel whenever we want because we don't have to worry about her job.
Yeah.
Because if she's got her job back, she's got to worry about when her shifts are and planning around that. And I don't know.
Man, maybe I want to get a tattoo.
We could have
But
got
then
one
the
the
other
other night, dude.
But the other thing too is like I want color, and color is even harder to find.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time. I'll let people in the chat like, I want bright Hawaiian. I want a Hawaiian shirt on my arm. Like, I want bright sunshine. I want hibiscus flowers. Like, The beach is my happy place. It's my sanctuary. The ocean, like salt water, is like I moved away from it and I hated life. Like that, no W-2 job has ever made me more miserable than living in the Arizona dry heat with no ocean. So like I want bright color, and that makes it even harder. What do you guys think of glamping? I just heard glamping.
Oh, is that like glorified camping?
I heard somebody saying, was it like, I thought I was getting trolled when I heard it, like it was like a meme video. Yeah, glorified camping.
Yeah. I mean, people do it all the time here. It's RVs. It's, nice fifth wheels. Like
What's a fifth wheel?
a fifth wheel?
Yeah.
It's like a way you pull a trailer. It hooks into the back of your truck bed instead of like a ball and hitch joint. Or,
Oh, so it's not the one that sits in your tailgate.
it is the one that sits in your tailgate.
And goes like over your cab?
No, it doesn't go over your cab. It just sits in your tailgate. Or it sits in your bed of your truck.
What sits in the bed? The camper sits in the bed of your truck?
Where it hooks to where you pull it at. So like a typical, like a ball hitch,
Right.
where you connect it to that ball.
Like my boat trailer.
Yep. Instead of it
Okay.
connecting behind your truck to your hitch,
Right.
it connects to the middle of your truck bed.
Right. Okay. So no, I know I'm picturing that, but what do you call like the camper that is literally sitting in the bed of
no.
your pickup that makes your truck look like a Winnebago?
That's not. I don't think. No, that's not
That's
what
not-
we consider fifth wheels. No.
So a fifth wheel is like the thing that's like, yeah, it looks huge. It's like sitting over your.
Yeah. And it's like a big camper behind you.
That's called a fifth wheel?
That's what we call it.
Dude, I will come to Wilmington, North Carolina. Dude, if I didn't have freaking kids, I'd freaking come everywhere. North Carolina, 5 minutes from the beach. Is that where they film
I have
Wicked
family
Tuna?
in Wilmington, and it's a nice area.
I'm just reading the chat if I get quiet.
Me too.
Upstate New York. Upstate New York is so vague. Where upstate New York? Upstate New York is the size of Texas.
No, it's not.
Dude, it's huge, man.
The size of Texas.
Dude, upstate New York is huge.
It's huge.
Dude, if you took New York and flipped it over, it would cover Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, and most of Maine.
You literally picked the smallest states in the United States. That's not that big.
Dude, Connecticut is huge.
Connecticut is not huge.
It's bigger than your state.
No, it ain't.
Square footage is bigger than your state.
I'll look it up right now. There's no way.
It's big. Square footage is bigger than Missouri. Maine might even
Says
be too.
the guy who doesn't know where Missouri even is.
I do now. And I think
Okay.
Maine.
Connecticut. So Connecticut is
I-
5,567 square miles.
I think Maine might be bigger than Missouri too.
Now Maine, I could see that. Connecticut's not that big.
Dude, Connecticut's long and thin. It's got some square footage to it.
Okay, you ready for this? I'm about to prove you wrong because I'm going to show that New Yorkers suck at geography. Connecticut, 5,567 square miles, right?
No way, bigger.
No, it's not. Missouri, 69,704 square miles. Dude,
10x?
Connecticut is so small. How do you even say that?
Dude, Missouri is 10x Connecticut?
Yes. Bro, like, have you ever looked at a map?
No, I'm from New York. I don't need to.
Jesus.
How big is New York? How many square miles?
I bet New York is close to Missouri. Let's look it up. Uh, 302 square miles. So you're quite a bit bigger.
I'm telling you.
Hang on.
Saratoga Springs, that's Albany, so that's good. That's where Ryan Scribner lives. Saratoga Springs. Lake George is good. Lake Placid, much better. I love driving by Lake George and being like, I'm going to Lake Placid. Sorry, guys. Connecticut's tiny. They're not tiny.
Yes, they are. They're one of the smallest states in the United States.
No way.
Bottom 5. Out of all 50, they are bottom 5. Hands down.
Hold on. No way. Because I can think of 5 that are smaller than it right off the top of my head. Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Delaware, Rhode Island.
I take that back. New York
Hawaii.
area square miles is 54,000. So Missouri is bigger.
No shot.
Yes, it is.
I don't believe it.
Look it up.
I don't believe it.
54,500 square miles. Missouri is 60.
Nope.
69,700.
There's no way your state's bigger than mine.
Yes, it is, dude.
There's
Bro, it's just farmland and stuff, but we're bigger.
Nope.
God. Nope. Not all right.
Nope.
So Delaware.
Dude, look at New York on the map. Share your screen.
Okay. You can see it plain as day. Missouri is bigger than New York.
No.
Yes, it is. Look, I'll show you right now.
They said minus.
You have to let
bottom
me.
5.
You have to let me share.
Connecticut's not bottom 5. It might be bottom 10, but it's not bottom 5.
Connecticut is bottom 5.
I just told you 5 states that are smaller than it.
Name.
Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Delaware.
Nope. Vermont's bigger, I bet. New
No.
Hampshire. New Hampshire's definitely bigger.
No.
Yes, it is. I'll look it up right now.
I just made you the host.
Yep, New Hampshire is 9,350, almost double Connecticut. You
No
don't
way.
know anything about geography, dude.
No, dude, Connecticut's right above me.
Look at
I know.
this. That doesn't matter where it's at. It's the size of it. Okay, you ready?
Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot.
So here's little bitty old Connecticut, where Brad thinks so huge for some reason.
Okay, wait, okay.
Here's New Hampshire. This big ass thing.
Oh shit, that is big.
Here's New York, right?
New York's
now let's look at Missouri.
Maybe I was thinking Massachusetts. Massachusetts is pretty big.
There's Missouri. Massachusetts is not that big.
Dude, New York's bigger than Missouri.
No, it's not, dude. I just looked it up. Missouri square miles. New York square miles. 9,350. Nope, that's New Hampshire. But I'll look up New York again. It was 59-something thousand. Yeah, 54,000.
54 to what? 60 something?
69. 69.
10,000 miles more? I don't believe it.
Okay.
It's a conspiracy.
Oh my
Man,
god.
Connecticut's a lot smaller than I thought, huh?
Yep.
Good thing I don't have to go there. Connecticut's tiny. Something. See, New England is almost as big as New York. If we flop New York on the other side. But look, bring that map up again. Go to Long Island. Go to New York. Okay, just zoom in. All right. Bring New York Center. I'm just curious. Do you know where I am?
Yeah.
Put your mouse kind of where I am. Bingo.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you understand that when somebody says, I'm from upstate New York,
Yes.
how
That
that
could
means
be
nothing?
Any of this?
That means nothing to me.
Yeah.
But he's from Saratoga Springs, which is right above Albany. You can actually, it's actually on the map, Saratoga Springs. Just above Albany, yeah. That's where Ryan Scribner lives. I'll give you his address if you want it. Missouri's not that big.
Yes, it is, brah.
Okay, now go to this. How many people live in Missouri versus New York?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a... Oh, my God. New York State. Population.
Show me a milli, at least.
19.45 million.
19.
Missouri population.
Yo, 10,000.
Oh, my God.
10,000.
Okay.
Do you pass a milli?
6.1 million.
No way.
Bro, we got 2 major cities in our state, Kansas City and St. Louis.
Let me press the pause button right there. I'll let you get away with calling St. Louis a major city. But please, do not insult our listeners by calling Kansas City, Missouri a major city.
How is it not a major city? It has more headquarters than most cities in the United States.
Bro, it is a suburb.
Kansas City is a city.
It is just because there's city in the name.
How is it a suburb? Explain.
It's so suburb that they needed to take their name from a neighboring state. It's Kansas City in another state. It's lame.
Does not make it a city just because of its name.
What makes, dude? Oh my God.
What makes
How
a
many-
city?
Population of Kansas City, Missouri. God, 3,000.
3,000. 1.7 million. That's a city.
No shot. That's a city.
Yes.
A major city?
Yeah.
How many people live in Buffalo, New York?
I would say Buffalo, New York's a major city.
Well, I'm telling you it's not.
Oh, okay.
This is Main Street.
886,000. So Kansas City has double the amount of people in Buffalo.
Okay, and Buffalo is borderline creepy to go to.
Well, it
It's
doesn't
like-
that doesn't mean Kansas City's borderline creepy.
It's double the Wild Wild West, so it's just the Wild West.
Bro, you're literally coming from a city that's the largest city in the world almost and trying to compare other cities to that. You can't do that.
I'm not saying it's not a city. It's not a major city.
What makes a major city a major city?
For one, if you asked America's youth to point it out on a map, they would know where to look.
Yeah, I would say 85% of the people in the United States would know where Kansas City is.
If I gave my 125 students a map of the United States and asked them to point to Kansas City, Missouri,
Then you have
less than 2% would get it.
horrible teachers in New York.
Less than 2% would get it.
Wow,
And-
you guys need new teachers.
And 30% of my school goes Ivy League.
Man, you guys are not smart up there in New York.
It's just not a major city. Just admit it's not a major city.
What makes a major city a major city? You still haven't answered my question. I'm waiting.
You're the one defending that it is a major city. You need to tell me why it is a major city.
Bullshit, I have to. I've said it's a major city, and I already proved that it's larger than Buffalo, one of your biggest cities in New York.
It's not. No.
Yeah, no, yes. What makes a
Buff-
major city a major city?
Buffalo is a joke of a city.
Okay, cool. Kansas City's
So-
double that. So
Sorry for the half a person that might live in Buffalo that might listen to this podcast one day. Kansas City, chat, can you help me out here? Am I being ridiculous? Kansas City is not I'm not saying it's not a city. It's not a major city.
what makes a major city?
I think
a major city?
there's only 10 major cities.
It needs an airport.
No, it doesn't.
I would say no. I would definitely say a major city, at least over 1 million people in population.
No.
And it needs to be a major airport. And
International airport.
I'd have to look up how many international airports there are.
Probably the ones in major cities. That would be a good indication. If Kansas City has an international airport.
Also, by the way, I never needed to share my screen. I could have just simply.
What?
I have OBS reading my screen already. I never needed to share my screen.
I don't know what you have set up over there.
Oh man.
18 wheels and a dozen shooters said, "Sorry, Brad. KC is a major city."
Kansas City has a international airport.
Okay, I'll give it to them. I said if they have an international airport, They're a major city. But then again, Samuel said Buffalo has an international airport. They are not a major city.
What, they have an NFL team.
Listen, we can start an NFL team.
No, we couldn't. I would definitely think Kansas City is a major city.
Dade said North Carolina's capital is sub 500K. That doesn't mean it's a major city, though.
No, just because it's the capital of a state, I wouldn't consider it a major city. Like our capital in Missouri isn't a major city, and it's our capital of the state. I guess pretty small.
Samuel, kids can point out Denver. They know where Denver is. My opinion. I still don't think it's a major city. I'll take the L in that, though, because maybe I'm just being ignorant.
Why isn't it a major city? You haven't explained that yet. You haven't explained your argument. You're just saying it's not a major city. You have to have some sort of facts to back it up with.
There needs to be a reason for people to go there and visit.
Well, first you already said there needs to be an international airport, and there was one. So what's next?
Right, and I give it to you. Like, I lost that argument. I did say if
there's
it has
absolutely a reason to visit Kansas City. You got famous barbecue in Kansas City.
Said nobody ever. We really need to plan a trip to Kansas City again.
I beg to differ.
You lived there. You couldn't wait to move out.
Oh, absolutely not. We moved out to come back to family. I just went back in Kansas City last week, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I miss it. It's an amazing city. It's clean. It's safe. It's comfortable. It's put together well.
Right. Like I said, maybe I'm just being
a New Yorker.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just, I'm being, was that egocentric? Raleigh, North Carolina isn't a major city.
I wouldn't consider Raleigh a major city.
No, I wouldn't consider that a major city.
It's not like I think major cities are like, I feel like they're like popular cities.
Dade cities law. Yeah, popular.
Yeah.
And just because you have a sports team doesn't make you popular.
I beg to differ.
The Chefs are not like worth being.
I think if you have a sports team, you're pretty close to being a major city. Like if you have an NFL team, I would almost say you're a major city. But other cities like Honolulu, I would say that's a major city. Anchorage, Alaska,
I wouldn't call.
I would say that as a major city. Where like we're not. Are we smoking right now, Brad? Like what are we talking about?
Dollar Blazer says goodnight from a major city. Phoenix is not a major city.
Phoenix is definitely a major city.
Phoenix is definitely a major city. He said Charlotte has a sports team. That's basketball. That's not really a sport, is it?
Where are we going with this?
What are we doing about? We're going to be off in about
10 seconds whenever Brian's $50 super chat's gone.
He's got another one lined up. What are you drinking? Hazy IPA? I'm really gonna look into. I'm gonna look into the KC. The KC is that. I mean, granted, I'm trying to buy houses there, but
it's a gold nail.
Oh, you love those.
They're pretty good.
Carolina Panthers NFL. Is that North Carolina? Carolina Panthers in Charlotte.
Yeah.
How many major cities are there? I'm sure that's Googleable. Google that. What are the U.S. major cities?
What makes a major?
No. What are the major cities?
In order to qualify as a major town or city, a settlement had to have a usual residence population or workday population of 75,000 or more.
Stop.
Yeah,
that was
count.
That was in 1911.
What did you say to search?
What are the major cities in the United States?
Are we saying major cities or most popular cities?
No. What are the major cities in the United States?
But who says that's even a term?
We've been using that term for 25 minutes for no particular reason.
We've also been drinking for the past few hours.
I've been drinking all day.
What are the major cities
In the United States.
In the United States.
Let's get a screen share here, bro.
New York, Los Angeles. But see, these are just based on largest population. That's all it's doing.
Okay, so it should come up before Buffalo. Go ahead.
So top 10 largest cities in the United States. New
I
York,
didn't ask for
LA.
large. I said major.
Dude, that's the
major.
first thing that popped up whenever I looked.
Is it in the top 10?
That's what I mean. This major cities thing may just be a made-up term you and I literally just made up.
No. Major cities is like a thing.
No, it's not. Everything that's popping up is largest.
Huh. Guys, this is what we talk about when we're not recording. on FaceTime.
Jeez.
Sometimes we just hop on a Zoom call, too. Jay just has desks. We just hop on a Zoom call.
What are we even doing right now with our lives?
All right, you want to get out of here, bud?
Yep, let's get out of here. All right. Everybody have a good night. Thank you all for what the hell this even last hour was. I have no idea. Cheers to the Average Money Podcast community. You guys are awesome. We love you. We love doing this every single Wednesday night. If you haven't joined,
subscribe to Brad Finlove.
And join the Discord.
Do that.
Join the Dade, you son of a bitch.
Love it. Here we are. Pull the microphone back in. I'm about to crack another beer. Dade's back.
From my non-major city. Cheers.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you for your support.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I was literally about to press in stream.
Night from Baltimore.
So what's something else we can argue about?
Oh, Glock or Sig. No politics.
Yeah, it's not politics. It's gun. I'm definitely a
Night,
Glock guy.
Good night. I want to see that forearm tattoo, please. Share.
Yeah, I want to see it too. Definitely a Glock guy.
Yeah, but why?
It's what my dad kind of brought me up on. So it's like a family go-to brand. I like the look of it. I like the feel of it. I like the trustworthiness of it. It's not gonna ever jam up on me.
That's a Glock patent?
Yep. I don't know what generation it is. I don't think it says it.
Oh, it's definitely a 9.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what generation it is. Yeah, it doesn't say. I don't know.
What do we Glock for carry, Sig just because I want one. My EDC is a Sig though.
The Glock's construction makes it a lighter choice. However, that means that when you're using a higher caliber, the Sig handles recoil better than the Glock does. If you are looking for a well-concealed carry weapon or a lighter one, the Glock will edge out the Sig in this category.
New York City police officers carry the Glock 9.
I think every police officer carries a Glock 9.
But the SEALs carry a Sig. 226.
My first ever pistol my dad bought me for my graduation present of college was a Glock Gen 4, a Glock 19 Gen 4.
You can buy people guns in your state?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know how my dad did that though. He did it and put it in my name. I think I still had to go through with the background check. But I don't know. I don't remember. That was 7-8 years ago. So it was a cool present. It was a really cool present, and I want to do that for Mason whenever he. You know what?
What?
Nothing. Nothing.
Brian Hunt coming in $20. Thank you so much for your
There he is.
generosity.
What else can we debate? What's a good debate topic?
Oh my gosh.
Here, I'll look something up.
Without being cliche, like Marvel or X-Men.
Yeah, like here we go. Oh, of course, all these are politics.
Yeah, no, I don't want debate politics.
Me neither.
What about this?
Here we go.
What's a better vacation, beach or mountains?
Oh.
Because you're a Hawaii guy and I'm a northern Colorado guy. Chug that IPA. Don is here.
What is a... Oh, man, that's a...
Oh, so I said beach or lake. I said, would you rather... Okay, so I'm going to bring this up to you right now because this is something I want to propose to you.
Okay.
If we plan a trip this winter with our families, all-inclusive Mexico or Airbnb California side of Lake Tahoe?
Excuse me. Skiing and snowboarding is included?
Yeah, that's why you go to Lake Tahoe in the winter.
I'm going to go Lake Tahoe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Lindsay's more of the beach goer than I am.
I thought you would have chose beach 100 times over.
Nope. I like the beach for like a day or two and then I'm over it.
Have you been like on a ski trip?
No. I've snowboarded a lot here in Missouri, but I've never been on an actual ski trip.
How the hell do you do that? The place is flatter than flat.
No, we have fake snow. They make fake snow.
But do you have elevation change?
Dude, we got the Missouri hills, dude. Like, we got decent I mean, we're no, like, Colorado Rocky Mountains, but yeah, the Missouri has pretty big hills.
Okay.
I mean, so a few thousand feet.
So can we plan a trip to Lake Tahoe this winter?
Yeah.
With the kids?
Yeah. How are we going to ski and snowboard with the kids?
It's called ski school, bro. You drop them off in the morning, you pick them up in the afternoon. Never did ski school? It's the best thing ever.
Never been on a ski trip, bro.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Dude, you get up, you bring them, they hang out all day. They do like a camp. They're inside most of the day. They're outside skiing. They're doing this. They're meeting people. Yeah. Ski school.
Yeah, I'm going a mountain. Like wintertime, I'm going mountain. Now let me ask you this. Live somewhere. Beach, mountains.
Mountains.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm choosing mountains for sure. Like I want to live on a lake is where I want to live.
I don't even need that. I'm not swimming that lake.
Yeah, I want to live on a lake.
I'm not swimming the lake. I mean, because I could go on vacation to a beach once a year for 10 days and get my beach fix.
So could I.
But
I do it now.
And I mean, granted, I live on the beach, but I think there's something about the fresh air and the smell of like pine trees.
Yeah. I love the mountains too. Okay, let's run through. I got debate topics pulled up here. No politics, but let's run through some of these and let's see if we agree or disagree.
Until this super chat runs out.
Yep. We'll do education debate topics. Homework should be banned.
That's not fair. I'm a teacher.
What would you say?
Absolutely. I haven't given homework in 10 years. Let me ask you this.
I wouldn't do. I would.
Do you do work when you are done with work?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
No. I wouldn't give homework. I think homework should. Yeah, I don't think homework is good. No.
I haven't given homework in 10 years.
Yeah, do work while you're in school. That's what you're there for. That's political. Here we go. Schools should block sites like YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram on their computers.
My school blocked YouTube today. JJ knows that. They should, but it sucks when they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Last year they blocked Discord mid-year, and it severely hurt my Discord presence.
Yeah, I would say for students, probably, yeah, because that could cause a really distraction, but for teachers, no.
YouTube was a big one. YouTube was a big one.
Yeah.
YouTube was a big one. Like, I use YouTube a lot.
School uniforms should be required.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No way, dude.
I've taught and gone to schools with uniforms.
No way.
They're better.
Where we live in America, where would you want to wear?
Yeah, but
No way. There's
Listen to
nothing
me.
you can say that could make me change my mind.
yes, there is.
No way.
There is things I could say that could change your mind.
Let's name it.
You have to understand that there's certain kids can't dress in a way that makes them feel confident in certain communities, and having a uniform for that reason was good enough for me. The other reason why I liked school, you know me, I wear a school uniform right now. I wear the same thing to work every day. There was also a safety aspect when I worked in New York City because we dressed our kids according to age. So I knew who all the freshmen were. I knew who the juniors were. I knew who could go off campus, things like that. And we're talking like uniforms, like shirts, ties, dress shoes. Like it was as simple as like the color that you wore. So like in my school, like the seniors wore blue polos, the juniors wore green polos, the freshmen wore pink polos, like things like that. That was good for the school community. It was very, very when a junior cut class to go to a senior lunch, he stuck out like a sore thumb. Like that was good for the school community, but also teaching in the inner city of New York where some kids only had one or two sets of clothes. If one of their one or two sets of clothes was their school uniform, nobody at school knew that.
Okay.
Nobody at school knew that. And I saw that.
I can see that.
And I saw that firsthand in the inner cities of Phoenix. There was some really, really poor neighborhoods. I see it now in the rich neighborhoods where like you literally have kids that wear like Louis Vuitton to school. And then also you have girls, like I had to talk with my class today about you're wearing clothes, and I sound like such a dad when I say this, but like for sanitary reasons. Girls are wearing shorts so short that their butt cheeks are hanging out, which is really awkward.
Yeah.
But besides the awkward part, like they sit on seats.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're literally putting your whole lower third butt cheek on a chair.
Yeah.
And forget the person after you. Do you think about the person before you? Like when I sit on a toilet seat, I think about the 100 people that have sat on that toilet seat before me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you're sitting on a toilet seat in a public restroom, are you putting toilet paper down?
Depends on the place. Not always. 50-50.
100% of the time in a public place, I'm putting toilet paper down.
What do you consider a public place? Did you nest
Anywhere that's not my bathroom or like another like friends or family's bathroom.
Do you nest at my house?
No.
Okay, you just went for it.
It's not. I don't consider that a public bathroom. Like I know who's using that bathroom.
Right. But now uniforms.
So okay, I get that. I'll give you that.
They do more good than bad.
I'll give you that.
Like it's.
I want to move on because I'm already over this topic. And we're running out of time. This one may be a little political, but I got both sides, so I'm not worried about it.
If it is, I'm just not going to answer it.
That's fine. All student loan debt should be eliminated.
No, it should not.
Okay, so I agree, but hear me out for a second. I was talking with one of my very good friends, best friend from high school. Like my best friend from high school. Him and I met at he lives in Denver now, but we just met up a couple weeks ago.
Date said to Brad, just call it nesting. Yeah, like you
build a net. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I caught that.
You build a net.
So
it's cool. What do you call it? You fucking weirdo. Like
laying down toilet paper.
Yeah, like
that's what I call it.
You don't say, did you build a nest?
No. Like, so hang on. I want to get back to the student loan
We'll
thing.
be shit somewhere. I'll be like, yo, that was gross. I hope you put down a nest. You don't say that.
No, never say that. I will say this real quick about the student loan thing. With how difficult it is for me as a 30-year-old business owner who makes a decent amount of income, how difficult it is for me to get a loan on a asset that is going to earn me an income every single month versus how easy it is an 18-year-old with no skills whatsoever can go take out $100,000+ in student loans, something is wrong there.
Yes.
And the government is at fault for that, I feel like. And I didn't agree with that at first. I'll be honest with you, I didn't. But after
let me ask you this then with the student loan thing. If I'm just playing devil's advocate here, and continue the debate.
That's good.
If the government, who is going to control this, if it does get forgiven, if say they forgave $25,000 worth of student loan debt, and they gave everybody else that didn't use it a $25,000 tax credit, would you be okay with it?
If they gave $25,000
tax credit to the people that did not use the forgiveness,
I almost think that should be like
would you be okay with it? Because personally, I'll give you my answer. I'm not for giving anybody anything for free. If you gave me $100,000 tax credit and said, for that, I'm going to give somebody else $100,000 student loan forgiveness.
No,
I'm opposed to that.
I'm going to say this. I don't think we should have like student loan forgiveness. I don't think that. What I think is going on, though, is that the government is taking advantage of these younger individuals that don't know what they're doing and they don't know what they're getting into. And
they're not taking advantage of them. They're taking advantage of their parents.
Well, that too, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The kids don't sign off.
No, not true. This goes back to what you were saying with the whole uniform thing. If you're gonna pull the whole uniform thing and kids don't have certain uniforms and they don't have certain clothes, that same thing applies to student loans. There's certain kids out there who don't have the parents at 18 years old and they're going into college by themselves. They don't have the backing saying, what am I getting into? I just need to take out loans to live and survive through college. So like that right there, like there needs to be some sort of, it's wrong on both sides. There needs to be some sort of educational basis walkthrough or like barrier to get through in order.
Every first world country besides us calls that going to college.
Well, hang on.
For free.
And I'm not opposed to that because we have a free public schooling system. Why not push it towards college? I'm not opposed to that at all.
Because you know why we pay tuition. We pay tuition to fund sports.
And also to pay for overpaid professors and for super nice campuses. I don't think do I think people should be giving stuff for free? No, I don't. We're getting so political here. I was trying to not get political with this, but it's hard not to. All right, we're done. We're done.
Everything's political.
What a night, bro. All right, I'm ending this stream.